EDG, I mean, in the previous map pool, I think 4 of the maps, they'd like to come on their double duelist. A lot of Kung on this Yoru. Curious to see how it plays out here. And again, the Battle of Somhava. Curious to see how that plays out. Marta on that Yoru here as well.
EDG have been playing a lot of double duelists throughout the second stage. 4 of the maps in the pool, that has been their go-to, and it's been the Neon Yoru especially.
NRG starting on defense here. They're going to push off A early and find very little. And the sounds of that Aldrone reach Scuba's ears. He'll have to play back behind his smoke.
Now this utility from Brock really just serves to delay so the rest of NRG can get towards B and play for this retake. You know, situation where that Harbor is definitely going to excel.
Spike planted.
And around we wrap. Nobody will be first contact here. Up on the corner. Jenny as well, expecting a push here off connector, and he's going to get a Scuba and some ring out. Nobody doesn't have the stopping power to put NRG to bed. And it's on Smoggy. Smoke to upper. Playing by Coast here, but this is pretty telegraphed. NRG have a decent idea, so Smoggy gets on the move. Catches a glimpse of Som. Headshot to bring him down. But now Brock will be waiting on the other side. And Smoggy's got between a rock and a hard place. But it's a right click. Man, you'd sooner forget if you're an NRG player. Brutal. What a way to open the account. A Red Bull clutch off the rip.
That is absolutely stunning. I thought they nerfed that. That's what I heard. Nope. That second shot was crazy. Brock in such a tough position, being forced to jump from that cliffside.
Oh, just a glimpse.
What a beautiful little tap there as well. Oh my God. And that's after EDG. They go for the heavy commitment, fight towards the link, punished for it. Oh my God, what a way to start.
And the NRG trade well into every other part of the map. That's a 3v1 that falls flat for them. And so EDG get off to the races in the best way possible.
NRG set themselves up for such an excellent retake with that early push out of A, Brock delaying on the site, all for naught.
They did everything right, why? But sometimes it's about the power of the individual. NRG have a few of those, though, to their name. Up towards tower side here, Gigi wants to take the fight. He knows he's advantaged in terms of weaponry. Jenny able to follow up. Plenty of plays on this crossfire, and Ethan can really only offer a token resistance. Som's out of the picture. Another 3K for Smoggy. Rack him up.
He's looking ice cold right now. Smoggy absolutely on point. You know, now one of the things coming into this match that I was really looking at, speaking about this EDG double duelist, is the fact that they're going up against NRG, whom in their group in Stage 2 of Americas, 4 of the 5 teams they went up against were double duelist teams. They are so experienced against the play style that this composition demands that EDG in that regard definitely have to be worried.
But this is the first time we've seen Abyss make its way back into the pool since Bangkok, Wyatt.
Yeah, we had no idea what to expect in terms of the compositions here. Som under a lot of pressure early. Has to place the cove just to be safe. Nice shot.
Challenges through the cove. Cascade attempted, but Smoggy's going to find him through it. Perhaps Som shouldn't have stepped out of that. Now that mid-control firmly in the hands of EDG. They spent for it, and now they could go anywhere.
That's already 7 on the board for Smoggy. Absolutely crazy. A barrier orb is up in mid. It cuts off the B to mid link right now. NRG trying to re-clear into A main, take some space. They've got Ethan pushed up in the corner, but at the moment he is all alone. Yeah, Brock has retreated towards heaven. This is dangerous.
Leaping across is too dangerous. It's a one and done. He can't even find the frag. And now Brock, from security, has to try and hope to put this push to an end. But EDG are going to run in numbers. 4 deep now as they tentatively make their way out onto A.
Yeah.
Slowly into the backside. You can see Marta's trying to get in position, but Brock can only speculate from this spot.
Chichu just tapping that spike to draw out some of the util. Does so effectively. Thrown out for the wrinkle. That's going to get the ping onto him. I believe. No, Broken just in time. Swing out from Mata. Loses that isolated 1v1.
Paranoid here is going to put Brock out of commission for a couple of moments. Slowly here, through backside. Finally Scuba arriving at the scene, but it's a bit of a wasteland for him there, and Kung is ready to receive him. At this point, Brock might be better served holding onto his weapon.
No choice but to save. EDG converting on their bonus round now. Off of some serious aggression initially up towards mid, which is a benefit of having the Neon for sure. That is a lot of ground to cover for people that are walking at normal speeds, but not the Neon. I mean, that is one of the big issues that you have to confront when you're playing on Abyss. The map is massive. You have to just cover so much ground at all times. Brock going to be able to save that rifle at the very least.
Smoggy finally put to bed after a ridiculous opener in this game. 7-1 currently. Note that Simon's got that Reckoning online quite early, feeding orbs into him. Also kills as Jenny turned up on him.
And look, at least in Americas, this NRG team has a pretty deep map pool. It's only really Sunset and Bind where they were struggling. Everything else they were looking very solid on, and that includes Icebox, which has been swapped out for Abyss. Now, Icebox, that was EDG's worst map. Now they get Abyss back, which at least in 2024 was a great map for them. So that's just a bad situation for NRG to be in, and we have to find out if Abyss is going to be a competent enough map to replace Icebox in their pool, which was so solid.
Definitely a bit of a hit to this NRG squad. Bonka already in the boys' ears. It's a timeout called just prior to round number 4. And I think they're going to have to adapt to this pace we're seeing from EDG up mid. It's early drone onto B, maybe pull some players out, and then that library control they are slamming. Jenny just sprinting down mid. Also, Kung with great mobility on that Yoru. EDG can cover a lot of this map, and the rotations are slow for defenders. Pulling them out of position with the misdirection that Yoru can provide can really soften up these sites in advance.
I do like this early timeout call from Bonker. I think this is the right time to do it, honestly. The team is going to be able to force up, especially around Psalm's Reckoning here. Another tool that is very effective for a retake situation that NRG could find themselves in. And I think that's really going to be the name of the game for them, playing for big retakes around this harbor utility. But they have to make sure they don't lose too much of that map control early, lose players getting picked off early in these isolated situations like we saw in the prior round.
Dart there. Not getting any catches. Kung's happy to walk up here, and it looks like a ping out on Ethan. He has to give that ground away, deploy the one-way, and that energy scrabbling back on the side to try and get things in spots. It's brought out in the open. Ethan gets involved, though. Saves his teammate's life, and Kung is down early.
Ends up being the perfect double face and the ideal situation for NRG. They have Psalm just jiggle peeking towards top mid right now.
Pretty standard high-low.
Expired, and they can relax. They can slow the pace of the game, allow EDG to execute where they intend on doing so, play for retake with the Reckoning and that man advantage.
Nobody with the spike over at A. They're just playing for an info push-up, but Scuba and Mana with that high-low setup over at B.
A little awkward with Genie swinging out while that orb was being taken. Smoggy catches a very low HP Brock on that rotate. It's just Ethan on the A side. Really, his only job at this point is to stay alive, right? Just teleport away back towards spawn.
The retake potential is there behind this Reckoning. So NRG might look to play a little safer off this side. It is just Ethan who's pinged out. Paranoia already loaded up, and there'll be a res here on Kung bringing the Yoru back into the fray. Here's the high tide. More stall now. Reckoning going to be deployed. Slow orbit Ethan's feet.
There's just such little time for EDG that Psalm is ready to commit that ult.
Nobody on the wrong side of the wall here is going to have
10 seconds left.
Probably get to the backside at some point, and there's already a timer. Tick-tock! Here comes Cuba from the backside. Kung and Chitu have to throw down on the side. They cannot get the spike stuck. Chitu, last standing, trying to get away in a tower, but there's a wall in his way, one of his own design. He'll fight for his life and lose it. Scuba for 4.
Well, that beautiful timing on the flank is how he collects those 4. NRG offers so much delay. I love that decision from Psalm. Rotated so fast to assist Ethan, who realizes that the optimal play became staying in this site. You know, just that added time, even from the res. Of course, you want to get that extra player alive, but it did buy some time for the rotate from Psalm to come over, and that Reckoning ends up being perfect. That wall as well, high tide thrown down. You don't want to walk through that.
Got to be vindicating for Bonka, who likely called for a slowdown of play from NRG, which is absolutely in their wheelhouse. Defensive team with great drilling and fundamentals. They're going to have to deal with a bit more pressure on the A side, and it's a gate crash now as Mata repositions up in tower.
Just gets right back towards that heaven side. Still have Scuba posted up. Watching towards the cliff. And mid, what a shot onto a jump spotting Ethan.
Now that is going to pull players in that mid direction. Kung very quickly getting a scope weapon in hand.
NRG heavily indexing in the read that this is going to be a hit towards B, and as it stands, they are absolutely correct. Scuba has that garden.
It's volatile, messy, and Chichu delivers. Mana and Som trespass in his domain. and then punished for it. Scoop with the great round previously, cannot hold his own on the side. Nobody digs him out. And Brock might be forced into yet another save.
Chichu was loving using that wall over on the right side to get over on top of that bookshelf and have to swing over top. We haven't really seen it play out, but it is a cool idea. NRG getting very aggressive there, trying to get the mid-round re-clear towards the
tips and tricks
fully punished for
माझा
that.
अभी weak है.
Gonna take a timing there to push up
Gathering
for
some tips and tricks.
Doesn't pan out for them. Now, EDG, I mean, you hear from Kung Kung in that press conference, says that he feels much of their run here at Champions kind of rises and falls on Jenny. But they're giving him grace, not putting too much pressure on the relative newcomer to this team. He's been put in a pretty pivotal role, right? Like a main entry, playing the non-Yoru duelist. Really has to be able to channel and exude some confidence out here on the biggest stage of his career.
Yeah, a player who joined up with this all-time great squad midway through the year, was on their academy team, and has been playing some very quality duelist games to get them into this position. This is a great start for EDG. They've got NRG back on an ego for Mata when we get back into this. Mata's yet to get much accomplished early in this game, but we have seen on several occasions throughout America's Stage 2, regular stage, and playoffs, Mata will have a slow start to a game and then suddenly go nuclear and bring them right back in.
You can never count him out. Not the kind of guy that seems to just suffer mentally from slow starts. And Mata has really looked to take some real estate here. Another surely. Jenny steps out, Mata realizing he's about to get pinched. So can pull out, over back towards the security.
Direction, playing A for the moment. Brock wants to use this timing to get some info towards B main. But it's in mid where EDG are just slowly contacting forward. With Mata teleporting away, they know that they can just garner that space for free.
There was a double face for a moment there, but some might have to give it up. Might be able to put it back together here with Brock.
Crazy hard time just gets thrown down in the moment.
All right, classic there for some. Best he could do was Jenny. Once again, Smoggy doubles down. Nobody's going to serve himself up here as Cooper eventually gets the job done, but up on high, it was Chichu. Now Ethan has to come back in with nothing but a classic. That high tide's still in play.
2v2 situation.
Have an opportunity for a res as well with the spike.
2v3
somewhat exposed, but he's able to bring nobody back into the game, and he comes back with a Hunter's Fury of all things. Mata might have been spotted there, getting up on box here. Smoggy challenges. God, he's good. He has hit the ground running on stage, and now Ethan with only 20 points of health, not remotely enough. EDG with a 4-round lead, and it's widening.
Smoggy is just having an electric game right now. 11 for 2. Comes in for the trade. What transfer off the song. That was sick. So sick. Bullets ring out from Mata. Damn, he is playing so well individually.
And that's after NRG get that first kill from mid, that push up from
Mata.
Weaponry after the fact outside of Mata to accomplish much. The round gets scrappy.
So here, double face.
They've got a full buy. They've got an AWP on Mata, and they have 4 ultimates in their arsenal.
Kung Kung with dimensional drift though, and you'll notice there's a lot to work with for EDG as well.
And we might get an AWP battle between Kung Kung and Mata, or maybe it won't even happen at all. Saw him going down on that. Not expecting the operator to be in play. And this is really a matchup of one of the greatest operas of all time in Kung Kung versus Mata, who I think is the best opera coming out of Americas right now.
Currently with the record in Americas for number of aces, and he's got it in one season. 10 aces from Mata.
Ethan alone on this site, going to feel the pressure of the dimensional drift, but this is simply to draw the attention of NRG towards A.
Can't be having that happen. Mata at least able to get out of trouble there.
Now NRG, they still do have 2 anchors on this B site. EDG trying to make the way here.
Kung Kung had the gate crash away, so he's not involved in this. Stoush over at B for now. Mata still able to be a factor in this round. 32 seconds left. EDG have got to go for it. Just for the timing.
This might be the opportunity to use it.
Ethan managed to get up in heaven though. Looking towards coast. It's probing. It's searching. Even a steel guard committed to that effect. EDG able to get through his ultimates now. have a plant down for themselves. Paranoia on the coast. Ethan hoping to follow up on it, and nobody dashed aside.
That was an excellent play from Ethan. The paranoia into the teleport across. Nobody had no idea what was coming. Kong going to have to go crazy right now. Holding the cross. What a shot!
What a correction! But now he's out of the fight and out of the round. A very important relief valve here for NRG. Big buy-up, big investment, and it delivers.
Crucial second shot comes through from Mata. Ethan recovering that operator. I love the way that NRG played that.
Audio filter.
You had the two EDG players facing the cross. There was so much utility pressure onto nobody backside. Once Ethan hits him with that paranoia, he's able to teleport right in this moment. Gets that very crucial kill.
Output gain करता मैं जो better will.
Just a dirty flick from Kong there from Crows though. Could have gone either way.
Second
that
round.
was mental. All right, Genie here with that overdrive going to pick up the Bucky.
Early flash off rip. Ping on Kong, pretty telling. EDG are adamant though about this A side. Ethan hoping to stall this out as much as possible. Obviously, Ethan and Brook have been manning this side of the map. Here's the fast lane. Gina's going to go for it now. Not much to see here, but overdrive going to be popped, and Ethan noted at the back of the side, but it's Brook there from Power. Gets himself two. That's big. Both duelists out of the game, and he wants more. But that'll be the end of the A anchors. Now it's NRG needing to rotate in.
Somehow again, by the way, Chichu is just away from getting a res. That is crazy. Nobody won. A shot to find on a Scuba.
Dirty angle for Smoggy as well.
And Scuba has gone for a play like that before. Nobody was reading that perfectly.
Smoggy's dropped down. Dimensional drift notes both EDG players up close here, and nobody's already found Mata. Here's Smoggy yet again. Never far from the kill free. The left side at least. 6-2. Favoring EDG.
And even if he didn't find that, Chichu was already over the top. Ready to fight NRG immediately on that retake effort. Fair attempt from Brock, who is a very trustworthy site anchor for this NRG team, but ultimately they are still overwhelmed. This is a critical moment though. Scuba on a couple of these retakes towards the A side has gone for that.
EDG 6 NRG 2
crosshair placement was perfect.
Damn,
and once you connect that, they go 3-on-2 where they can just focus forward. It's all too easy.
Here's the variation. The push up mid here for Mata potentially. Remains just
यार मैं PKM's ला energy select केले वाटते.
Kong has eyes for A main with the off.
It's high tide from Som gets thrown very deep towards the attacker's side of mid. So they absolutely know that the pressure coming from NRG. They could be walking
मला Johnny तो chat बोले था. Johnny ला बात
as Mata is playing at Library right now with that Sheriff.
Kong just making sure there's no cheesy crossfire setups in A main. One way is refreshed.
अच्छा हाँ मैं energy टाकले. आज group C है ना.
The mid-round EDG begins to gather up towards this B side seemingly.
Yeah, Kong obviously can rejoin them easily enough with the gate crash.
NRG, they are gambling on this B site, however, so things could get dangerous for EDG.
And Kong couldn't get enough information about the lack of defenders at A. EDG can't make a truly informed decision about hitting this site. They just have to commit.
Som gets one kill here, will have the reckoning.
तेज बोलते हैं हाँ group C है अपन.
Relay ball going to be thrown out. Chichu follows it up beautifully. Jenny is now in and around the side. Making his way over towards Connector. Finds one. It's the classics ringing out. Ethan gets himself a consolation. A gun recovery of a Som now. Can he make use of it on the other side of this high tide? Gets himself Chichu, but it's going to take more than that. And Brock doesn't have it. Not this time.
These executes from EDG have just been overwhelming for NRG to handle. They had every single player on that B side.
माझं सांगू. मला काल नाही. ऐक ना. पहिले याच्यात पेपर जिंकली राईट. सेंटिनल्स हारली. GX जिंकली ना. GX. हाँ मग तेच चुकलं माझं. पहिलं ते दोन चुकले. आज एनर्जी जिंकली पाहिजे बस मला एवढंच माहिती आणि टीम लिक्विड.
Brock gets that Hunter's Fury online with a collection of the A-man orb.
पहिले याच्यात काय टाकलंय.
Taking a lot of space towards mid, just cycling these dark covers.
They've driven away.
पेपर X त्याच्या खाली सेंटिनल हे बघ मी तुला फोटो पाठवला XLG त्याच्या खाली
Give that
GX
space up, maybe punish a re-clear.
You can see NRG, they of course have concerns about that. It's Ethan jump spotting towards that B link side.
Yeah, आलो रे मी.
Some B with the operator, but shouldn't have any opportunities to take a shot in this round. It looks like EDG, they're ready to just go for this A side, execute, and Kong wants to cut off a rotator with the op face down mid.
This denial of information and nothing spotted by the Aldro means that Brook is pretty concerned about mid to B, or someone hitting him from their side of the map. But no, it's going to be a straight main push here for EDG. Scuba has to be ready. Shield will, of course, active. Will have the drop down off security, otherwise, off tower rather. This could be a wall in his way. He's on the side. Look at how broken up it is, but Jenny's having to take the 1 versus 1. Scooby here looking to step back. Reckoning in play. Jenny, unperturbed, unfazed, unbothered. And gets his second. Stuck. Some falling by the wayside. NRG are looking out at C.
On spare, just getting
आणि हा ADGचाच मॅप चॉईस आहे. काय?
Just some nerves maybe showing up there.
काय बोलतोय?
Run for Ginny, pushes for more, removes the operator from the map. And now it's just Ethan with that save. This is NRG also being able to start on defense throughout Americas when NRG for the most part, outside of maybe one map against blowout wins. It's come from starting on defense and being an absolute
just
brick
crushing
wall. But EDG are running them over. A lot of it due also to just individual skill right now. They are dipping them in the gun duels. Like, they are straight up just winning these fights against NRG anchors consistently.
That's how NRG are trying to set the playing field, though. With all of this controller util on these sites as they're being executed on, NRG are asking for these pockets of play where they can take 1v1s, but they are losing out to young guns like this guy. Jenny, just dominant. And again, was by their own admission, considered a wild card here for EDG, where they may rise or fall, and so far he's delivered.
I feel like NRG would really benefit from leaning a bit more into playing for some of these retakes. Trying to anchor these sites hard against this EDG comp is just not working out right now. I'm spotting Ethan for a moment, but no opportunity for the shot. Taking control of A main, though, with this operator.
Just disrespecting the smoke, brimming with confidence for good reason. And Brook and Ethan have their work cut out for them, often outnumbered. Oh, that's a nice little connection of the Hunter's Fury. Nobody will be accounted for very early in the round.
Love that synchronization of utility. In the meantime, NRG pushed all the way out of this B side. No way. There's no way. Mana just forced to retreat.
And again, that same info push off for B for NRG is shut down.
And Chitu has just had reses constantly. So despite that awesome little bit of utility pieces in tandem from NRG, a great Hunter's Fury from Brock getting that first kill, it's made ultimately irrelevant.
Tell you what, your knees start to shake when you hear that sound. Jenny is on the site! And he touches down with a flourish. Ethan not so much, he's a sprawl. Brock here has to clear this ball early on. That's not where he wanted that recon to go, and he can't do a damn thing to interrupt this plant. He is out of the game now. Back by security. EDG have this one covered. As Som steps up, Mana's on the other side. He will strike, fights Jenny, and gets his second. Now he's given himself a foothold back into the side. You notice that EDG fall back to this A main hold, can cover the spike.
Have one flash to get out.
Step Brock to drop a shot. Dangerous. He wants the fight. That one goes wild, but Brock can only get one. For the rankable ranked teammates, EDG step up to fill the gap.
Kong has been on point with the operator on this attack side. Has collected a lot of very crucial kills. This B push was a disaster for NRG. They already had the opening kill in the round, and then they just give that one away. Genie threw down a great relay bolt as well. Couldn't go for the trade, was just forced to get out.
आम्हाला सांगितलं त्याच्यानंतर काय झालेलं का?
Off his own bat finds those 2 kills, but by then it's too late.
EDG are just trampling over these sites with absolute ease. NRG trying to throw another aggressive play into the mix by taking very deep mid control, and beyond that, just pushing all the way through.
Yeah, Smoggy sniffed this out. There was a ping at that part of the map by EDG. They knew something was headed their way. Brook! He's on a rope! He's on a rope! Oh, man. Somebody's able to find one up me, but this is challenging for him now. Relay bolt doesn't quite connect. He's stuck in the corner, but Genie will dig him out.
Gets a lot of damage onto Genie, but that Guardian not going to be enough in that kind of engagement against a Neon. Now Mod is the one who's going to try to push
That's
for more.
bad.
NRG
Big
are
fan,
just walking it
Popuji.
down in EDG, and look
Yes.
how ready they are for this.
Johnny
Double
Paji,
race
welcome to the
expecting it.
stream.
But fortunate to be alive there. Still opts to double back and challenge.
I mean, it feels like NRG are just getting desperate in some of these rounds.
Damn
They're
it.
getting so aggressive,
Can
trying
I
to
board?
hunt for kills. And EDG absolutely have their number.
Inside the smoke is Ethan. Opts to back
Oh,
out
no.
now, and they still want to anchor these
Ate
sides.
bagal lage
Last
actually.
chance here for NRG to make an impact on the defense side, and they're down to 2. Scuba though, in a decent spot.
Oh.
Can't quite mow them down. And the last line of defense falls. That is a paltry 2 defense side rounds for NRG.
Absolute dominance from EDG, start to finish. Smoggy went insane throughout that entire half. When Kong Kong begins to pick up the op, was just getting a number of crucial
And
kills.
to the half kill,
NRG
are
had absolutely no hope to start this game off.
Yeah, they got a chance to pick themselves back up in this short break, folks. We'll be back with the conclusion of Abyss right after this.
Alag ah? Oh, barbaric. अबे एम लॅबचा प्रमोशन फुकटचा मी वापरत पण नाही माझा आवाज मला नको ऐकू मला वेळ वाटतं अरे 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 स्ट्रीम मध्ये येतं एक सेकंड मी अनम्यूट केलं का नाही तुझ्या याच्यातूनच ऐकू येतं ना स्ट्रीमवर तू म्यूट आहे अरे बापरे करतो थांब चालू करू की नको नाही मी करणार चालू प्रॉपर्टीज आशू यस बोल रे आलं तर स्ट्रीम अरे तुझा आवाज बंद करून ठेवलाय मी आता बोल जास्त आला
Welcome back for your second half of Abyss. Right now, it is a shellacking as EDG are making an example of NRG. And for your Coinbase Econ report, I think we all know who we're going to be highlighting. Chichu with incredible impact over the course of the game. These 12 rounds. Have a look at this. A lot of damage dealt to the Yoru.
I'm surprised that Chichu somehow is a better report than Smoggy, who's at 16-4. But that's not to take anything away from the impact Chichu was having. Got a number of really sick kills, and I thought that was just getting a res.
भाई इथे कीबोर्ड बघ ना काय भारी आहे कीकॅप्स बघितलं
Chichu was able to get off.
Numerically hard to sort of quantify that impact.
Come.
When you bring your sofa back,
It's a back now,
this util still intact, and you're able to make the hit onto the A site with drone,
बघ
everything you could ask for.
हलका सा
This
बॅक करून
EDG
बघ
team looks sick out of the gates on Abyss. And again, it's the first time we've seen it here on this
Keycaps
stage.
भारी होत्या
Actually, NRG don't quite look ready for it at
काय
this
वाटतं
level.
तुला
They've still got a whole attack
हा
side.
हा गेम तर गेला
EDG
Reflect on the beginning of this game for bottom
Uh-huh.
up.
2-0 होते
मॅचचं काय होईल मॅचचं काय होईल
Match
मॅच
one sided
Immediately put NRG in a horrific position. They would have to do the unthinkable to get back in this game. We always favor their defensive side as their best side. The numbers support that.
But High Tide obviously gives the implication of a lot of mid-control for NRG off the rip. Just now, Samsung is looking to re-clear that part of the map.
That is one benefit of running the harbor for sure. It's just being able to throw some of those cascades, high tides towards mid, makes the defenders forced to re-clear, forced to use util to re-clear, or just play in more passive positions.
Ladder ultimately pinged out. That Sage will, even if broken, would force a wider swing on A main to risk the NRG at this point. Quite ready to take.
NRG have
मी सोळा कुठे बसलाय
cut
बघतो
noise, broken part of that barrier orb in A main, but EDG, if
Maronar
they decide
है
to leave this site, 3 players are ready to face this.
No body position as well, assuming some mid-control to be taken, but there's going to be no pressure coming out of tower here. It's just too easy for Kung Kung. Decent damage done from the middle of the site here. It's Scuba up mid. Needs to do more. Smoggy
Gee.
catches the Paranor in the way past the one.
Gee.
Quickly has to throw down as he gets out of the
Nobody
dark cover.
doing
Just
nobody.
Smoggy again has to clutch it up. Not again, bro. Surely.
Only 18 health
What the
off
fuck?
right now, going up the rope. What a
He got a
timing!
drop one, but
Oh.
missed. Smoggy at 70.
Kaya nito hagala habal. Smogy pa na hagala.
Again. This guy's got plot armor.
He's now sat at 18
Tigan
for
मध्ये जरी
4,
फिरवत राहिला
crushes both pistol rounds. Yeah, this one is just cooked.
A little
It's
cooked.
done and dusted. It's feeling like corrode time.
Brock had to react so quickly out of that dark cover and had the drop on Smoggy shot. Look at this. He's throwing the smoke, man.
स्मोक मधून बाहेर येऊन काय मारलाय ते
Oh, buddy.
Oh man, he only has 2 bullets.
प्रमाद किल होता रे
Has to reload. Oh man, if he had a few more, he probably gets that kill.
Just one way. It probably would have been that.
He had to drop. Oh, that's brutal. NRG obviously no choice right now but to force.
The deck is stacked against them.
तो आवाज खूप
Coming
येतो
into
ना
this round now, yeah, forcing for the rest of the map. Kang eats Ethan alive and then is able to get out scot-free.
फोन मध्ये का बघतोय पण
This one is so done. Time for NRG to lick their wounds, reset, and try to get back in the game on Corrode, their own map pick. This
Still a good
is,
map for EDG, by the way. A very good one.
काय ते
yeah, by round win
College?
rate percentage, it was EDG's best map of stage 2. They were winning 61% of rounds on that map. And when we do get
ओके
there,
ओके आलं लक्षात
NRG trying to make a foray towards this B
मग
site.
त्याचा
using
ऑडिओ
that
म्यूट
Arbor
कर ना
Util to do so.
मोबाईल वाल्याचा
Yeah, ping out on Jenny even before he got back behind their high tide, so Som just sprays and gets one. It's not the pinged out target, but that's just a footnote. Here's Brawl looking to step up now. Had a window before the relay ball connected. Ends up being a trade. Kang here still trying to command from Tower with the Bulldog.
And EDG do have superior long-range weapons for these distance engagements on this site.
The flash was good, but not enough. Kang still brought down. Som with the stinger, bring a bit of America's flavor into the round. G2 has a challenge here through this cove, and he's ready. But Mata from long range, sitting back with this Sheriff. G2 now with the Bulldog in that 1 versus 2. Mata checks, confirms, looks to have a swing. G2's gotten into half. The time is not on his side. As Kuba puts him out of his misery.
NRG have gotten the smallest of lifelines back into this game, winning the very necessary force buy that they took after getting the plant down on the pistol round. They recovered those Bulldogs, going to be able to buy up fully in this next round. That was dangerous for Brock. He just took a very aggressive line there into the connector, but does go 1-for-1 crucially.
I mean, it is the power of the stingers that we see. The fact that NRG can set that controller util up on B, cut the side up, and a free ping on Jenny cost him his life.
A couple marshals on the side of EDG, but we'll be going up against Mata's Outlaw.
That first shot accuracy for Mata left a little bit to be desired so far with scope weapons.
He's been a bit slow to start.
कांगकांगला भेटेल एक पिक
But like we said, that has never stopped him from surging
कांगकांगनी
right back
मगाशी
into his
इथनला
series.
असाच उडवला
Range. I think we figured that out.
हम्म
I
JMK.
would like him to be on the upper side of it though, out of the gates. Not today. Som's got the long line down mid right now. Vandal in hand, so well equipped. Jenny with the free pick and a second.
Just to,
everything he needs.
just to make sure, yeah, there were definitely 2 players there. Now I'll leave. Ethan tagged up a little bit in mid, but that's just a classic from nobody.
Double marshals in the round for EDG, by the way.
NRG really are taking their time right now, just trying to sniff out any aggression that could be coming from EDG. They don't want to rush things, and that Outlaw 1 shots. Kong Kong's site going to be free.
He was looking proud as a peacock, in fairness, up on top of container.
Some of that
Why is she flash lineup चांगली होती है रे?
coming into that B site with a high tide, cutting off the connector, cuts off heaven, and then
या वॉलला लावला
can't
त्याने
get any info towards bookshelf.
Retake here by Paranoia is an option. Relay ball at the ready for Jenny should be required, but it's just a supremacy of these weapons for NRG. Gives them a distinct edge here. Smoggy and Nobody showing themselves. See if they
voice line बोलते
And NRG, by the
मी
way,
म्हटलं मला काय ऐकू येतं
great
वेगळं
job accelerating players towards
उगीच
ultimates early.
स्पाइक मध्ये
This
मारायला
first buy round,
थांबला
they've got a Reckoning and a Hunter's Fury active.
And the margin of error is quite thin given the round total for EDG. Maybe encouraged to make use of them early. Always seems to be Smoggy. Some a warning shot fired off, keeps his head down. Mata with the cleanup.
That's Mata going hunting, getting really close to the dimensional drift now as well, just one orb away. So NRG have a very
भाई सॉमनी कैसे का अपन चुकी गेली यार यू वाटते थोड़ा सा
But can they risk trying to ration these out over what has to be 7 consecutive rounds, one to even up the game?
इकडे बघ ना केवढी लांब फाईट चालली आहे भाई बारीक बघ
Yeah, and you would think, you would hope if you're an NRG fan that they won't be needing to use 3 ultimates potentially to win this next buy round, but they better to win a round instead of to get to match point. I think NRG will do whatever it takes, expend anything necessary. Again, there's just some of that nice util that you can get early mid-control with when you're playing with the Harbor. A deep cascade, recon past it.
All right, Reckoning here over towards the B side of the map. High Tide as well is going to cut nobody off.
Damn, bhai.
Already has been given the hot foot. Okay, even that's going to be
confirm kill.
Nowhere to go. Literally caught on coast inside the Razor Vine and nobody got the drop there on some. No one looking in that direction, but Mata eventually flicks to it.
Nice.
Smokey actually wins out there at tower. So Jenny has the room here to assault the side itself before the
Smokey ne marla.
He's down to 10. It's a tough
Nice round.
An expensive round for NRG.
Nice round.
But they're still in this game.
What an awesome usage of those ultimates, though. They go for that really early mid-pressure, draw the attention.
भाई बंदे सेजला कसला जसा पकडून मारलाय रुक
onto Chichu, who's caught backside. He's flashed by the paranoia, stunned by the reckoning, can't go forward because the wall, his own wall is placed in front of him.
हे बघ एक
And he's getting
दोन
Hunter's Fury.
Broke him exactly where it was. No risks.
आपण किल चांगला था
Yeah, Chichu was no longer playing an FPS.
तो तिकडे बसला असता ना ओमेनला पण अजून एक 10 HP मजा आली असती
Sick execute from NRG, and they do still have this dimensional drift on retainer. They're getting close to that steel garden as well.
Big risk. Push off characteristic for EDG, but it's often
they wanted me to win PKMs.
And now speaking of, with those 2 kills, Scuba does have the steel garden. In this round, but for the next gun round, that'll be quite useful to have, so long as NRG can just close things out here in safe, competent fashion. Certainly looks like they'll be able to do so. Chichu on very low HP, healing himself back up though.
EDG
come out of that engagement without taking a hit, so it is for all intents and purposes.
मी पण तीच केली मी काय केलं काय माहित काय केलं तुझा फोटो पाठव
So the other 2 EDG players are ready to face on A.
Okay, Crash those. Who's going to have to 2 legs and a heartbeat over towards his A side of the map. It's going to be nobody with the stomping power. Broke down as well. That's 2 with the Sheriff, and he's happy with that. Enough of an edge gained here to play that retake game now. With Kang having some time board to get in position.
Scuba on.
भाई डॅम दोघं सँडविच करू शकतात तिघांना
One sheriff shot. Now Kang does have to activate that sheer wall. That's
शॉर्मा सँडविच होईल मग तो ब्रेड कमी आणि फिलिंग जास्त
Kang is going to be looking at multiple barrels trained in his direction. See Som, the first to look this way. Oh, dissipation. My goodness, Kang. Som's going to opt out of that engagement for the time being.
आता जाणार
See what he can get. Not a whole lot. Scuba.
Let's
Meets
go.
him at the door.
I'm happy.
Shuts down 3 on the round.
I'm happy.
Early aggression nullified. Success since joining the roster in stage 2. Had been one of the strongest challengers players in Americas for years. I think this opportunity for him was long overdue to get on one of the top America's teams, and he has made the most of it. He has been such a consistent rock for this team for the past couple months.
Now, because of the way EDG like to select their comps, they're often
I'm out.
On the defense side. We see them
अजून एनर्जी ने घेतला नव्हता रे एवढ्या हरताना
often see them pushing off sides early and around.
अच्छा ओके मला वाटलं पेपर एक्सचा प्लेयर आहे काय ना यार त्याचं विचारलं दिवाई दवाई
A couple of occasions there's a round there of course where it's just sheriffs and Jenny's hoping for something as he comes forward, but
मस्त केलंय असं सगळं गोल्डन
we talked about their experience against double duelists. They play a pretty stately early round, they receive the info push, punish it, and then move in to set up for a take.
When you're playing against that double duelist on defense,
it's so
critical that you're able to deal with a lot of the fast floods that are going to happen. When it's a they are going to be rotating to the site. We have seen NRG be able to deal with it so far. You know, that other round on B, where they use all those
Edward Gaming त्यांचं नाव आहे ना पूर्ण EDG
Edward Gaming आणि
be able to consistently need to do that to keep clawing back into this game. It's a good go at it so far. They're on a 4-round run, and they've got a Steel Garden plus Dimensional Drift to play with. On the round where EDG are beginning to get the ultimates of their own finally online.
There's that Kang op is
ball.
now. So EDG looking at their most dangerous.
And for NRG, it's really just a question of when is Kang going to have the op. I know it could certainly be this round with the state.
Mata
going to draw some attention towards this A side using the drip, but goes right into top mid to get all of this info for the B executes to come through.
Gatecrash also was thrown out there, so he turns up at library, but he's very much in the belly of the beast.
Again, he's just isolated on this back B side. Taken out by Ethan. Mata is offering such a distraction.
Yeah, he's annoying.
These other angles are like, is he gonna push? And he's just not. He's being so patient.
This is really bothering EDG. Here's the Steel Garden, just as EDG looks to set up into the trap into the waiting arms of Mata. Only one has to try and get up, and Jenny catches him. That opens things up a little bit more for EDG on this retake.
But they are just going to save. Genie is so weak. Kong, they want to keep that off for the next round, of course. At NRG, they've done it again. These B-side plays have been really high quality. Chichu is going to regret being in such a committed position again. Really crucial too, yeah, it is just Mata's play towards mid was so impactful as to how EDG were forced to just play around his existence.
And then they got funneled into it by the Steel Garden. That definitely forced the save there for EDG. So that's another nice round from NRG, but it's heavily assisted by that sheer weight of ultimates. And now that edge for NRG has gone.
Exactly, and EDG were required to use none of theirs. I mean, they just go for a 3-person save. They never really got in a position where they were actually willing to use theirs. But for them, they feel okay about that. Okay, we trade off 1-round loss. We still have a 4-round lead, and now we have a 4 ultimate lead. That's not a bad offer, honestly. I think they'll be okay with taking that.
Yeah, again, the deck's still stacked against NRG. They've given us a good run, at least on this attack side thus far.
Sam is able to collect that orb in B main. 1 away from the Reckoning being activated again.
Again, they're playing around those early info pushes offside from the double duelist defense side. Nothing served up to them this time, though.
म्हणजे हे बघ इथपर्यंत तर माझं हेच येतं
spot. One
या
play.
लेवल या
That was
पट्टीपर्यंत
Ethan. Quickly breaks
त्याच्यावर मग टीव्ही
that drone. Hong Kong has been
हां याच्याहून
very
खाली
patient in this position, and of course Brock is out of absolute necessity going to use that drone to clear an AWPer with the potential of an AWPer out of A main.
Hong Kong had to get off that line initially to reset his gate crash. Now he needs to pick it up again.
Just can play off this one way as it's still up in main when it drops.
मी तेव्हा ना याच्या
There we
खाली
go.
काय
It's
नाही
about to get messy. Around the corner, catches Ethan. And that's your controller off the map so early. Reckoning popped and now straight to the side. That goal is down. It's a second for Kang Kang.
टेबल जो असेल ना त्याच्या खाली काहीच नाही
30 seconds left.
And even uses the dimensional drift to get right back in. Hunter's Fury off the back of that.
Some spotted. No. No connection just yet. There it is. There's a ping on Som's position, but he's still going to look for this part behind the cove. Mata looking to fight backside, but he's going to be pincered here, and Kang Kang is an issue. It has to be respected at some point. No one is looking at the Goru.
Scuba's on the replay through heaven right now. Do EDG expect this, or can he get the backstab off? Chichu is ready.
Extra sensory perception for Chichu, and with the Sheriff, he's taken the vice out of the game. It's Mata side to slow off. One is Scuba to second. Hard to come by. And EDG march one closer to a win.
That is just a mental play from EDG Star.
white color
He goes right back in with the AWP after using his gate crash, and then dodges the Reckoning, gets this second kill.
Spike planted.
And then all
Canada
A main again?
Yeah, he pops the dimensional drift to escape, gets into A main. Oh, that is a crazy play.
क्वालिटी तर तसं ना पण चांगलं क्वालिटी
Jenny now has that overdrive.
And it was only a matter of time until EDG were able to sync up these ultimates to win a round. And it's a classic as well, the dimensional drift with a Hunter's Fury.
You know, it was sort of said that it took a little while for Kang Kang to acclimate to the Yoru style of play, but safe to say he's feeling himself now.
Now NRG going back to the well. They found that most of their success on these B-side executes. And again, it's just that high tide onto a shelf. Oh my god, this man, dude, that's just a fan. Sam is down.
समजा हा माझा किती 21 आहे ना
No harder util to actually try to stall out this retake that's going to come in.
Just Ethan smoke.
हा एक 24 येईल
Overdrive could even be popped from
हा
Genie to
एवढा
just
हा
be
2
that
फुटाचा
forward man.
हा
Yeah,
2
there
फूट
it
2
is.
फूट 2
Denied
फूट
on
बस
the
झाले
lane, but Marta's
3
already
मॉनिटर
out
माझे
there in tower.
व्यवस्थित
Picks up
बसतात
nobody and now can snake his way around through connector.
हे
Instead,
डब्बा
get crash
असा
up to his side of the map.
याच्यात
But
येईल
Kang Kang notices
फ्रेम मध्ये
this.
येईल असा
Does he know Brock is there as well? Perhaps
काचेची फ्रेम येईल
underestimating the position for
वर
NRG and Scuba
हे
attempts
आपण
to
कसं
go
लावलेलं
with the
तो
shorty.
झरी करून
Marta has to step
अशी
up.
झरी करून हे
50.
ठेवणार त्याच्यावर
3 for the round for
तिथून
him
मग
and
खाली वायर
Chichi.
आणणार
Ultimate not in his favor
ते
in
ते
that one.
कॉर्ड्सचे मार्बल आहेत ना
NRG stay alive.
It
Ah,
has just been
ते
all
काढलेलं आहे
about
ना
the B side
Cords का
for this
तोडलेलं
NRG team. And
मग
exactly
तिथं
what we
दुसरे
were
मार्बल
talking about with
लावून
Mana
दिलं
is
त्याच्याकडून.
happening.
चला
It never
त्याच्याकडून
matters
दुसरे
what
लावून
his
घेऊ
start is. He always comes back into the game. It's crazy. He was totally down and out in that first half. And now he's sitting at 17 kills. Never lets the status of the game get to him, no matter where he's at. Doesn't matter how hard he's struggling. He just bounces back. It's crazy the resolve he has.
His demeanor, right? It's pretty hard to rattle the guy. He's just, his baseline is pretty low
ते
energy.
करणार नाही ना मग त्याच्यावर प्लास्टर
Seem to let tough performances get to him. All right, we are in vents already, folks, so that's going to be tower control on the A side for the attack side.
NRG have not thrown
That's
an execute
yellow,
like
right?
this at EDG yet. The pace of
Yeah,
this
they're
A split. Chichu, the one anchor. Okay, that is some fortune
got a
for
witness.
nobody.
Pushing it back through security very quickly. Nobody's trying to get on the site.
एक
He's
मोठा
made his way
दगड
through
किती
the
इच्छा
cascade.
येतो
Oh,
2.5
the
तास झाला
triple
नाही
battle
आता.
was good. He could interrupt the plant here. Kang Kang dealt with though, and Jenny's trying to get this control of tower, but Ethan is locked down for himself. Got to it on Smoggy again. Sheriff to his name. That's all he's got to work with.
If there was anyone to pull this off, multiple clutches in this game already, and on the most crucial rounds. Can he do it to close it out with just a Sheriff?
Devious rotate here into tower for Smoggy. And he's got himself a weapon.
NRG still needs to recover this spike.
Very dangerous location to
इनपुट
get it as
असला तर
well.
मला सफिशियंट
He's
आहे
about to have one dark cover to play with.
इनपुट
See
बाय
if there's
ऍड
an
असेल ना मग
opportunity to
आपण
maybe use
तो
that.
तेवढा
I mean,
अख्खा लावून घेऊ
Ethan,
आपण
yeah, is even smoking
म्हणजे
off. Ethan is smoking off main right now on A. Just concerned. They don't know where Smoggy could be at. He could be anywhere right now.
Okay. Got contingency as well. Arcros thrown up in tower. That allows for a spike to be recovered.
And now they can plant back.
Alright.
Scuba is in a position to keep Ethan safe. Made sound on the rope, didn't get the silent drop.
अंकल आ रहे हो
Now is starting to inch
Yeah,
forward. Scuba ready to play out of security. Can Smoggy go massive again? 23 and 9. This would be for the map. Steps into the dark cover, gets it a tap. Where is Ethan lurking? Still on the other side of the boxes, and now Scuba's given himself up in security. That's valuable information for Smoggy. Still though, another attempt, another tap. Now looking in that security direction.
डैम भाई
Hits
क्रेजी
him where it
क्रेजी
hurts.
Nice
NRG
hold.
really slow the game down there. Take their time, make sure they work themselves into an optimal position
एक
to close out
mistake
the
आणि त्यांची
2v1,
मेहनत
getting that spike safely in Ethan's hands.
Oh.
Backside where
आलो ना
Scuba
मी
can
आलो.
actually watch for him.
तो आला की मी आलो
They won't be in an isolated situation against Smoggy. Man, nobody had some crazy kills there and had a real shot at just one-tapping Brock. He was trying to stick the plant.
Oh.
Yeah, headshot there, and that's the round.
That might have been, yeah, that would have been the round sealed. It certainly feels like it anyway.
Bro, I don't know what's happening. I keep getting shot through smokes.
Yeah, that was a little unlucky. A little unlucky.
ए पण आपल्यासारखेच कॉल देतात यार मला स्मोक मध्येच पडते यार माझं जीवन खराब आहे
For NRG, a set play that got them that early
Ah,
tower
is you?
control on A side
आज आशो म्यूट केला का परत
in the approach.
हॅलो
The old cycle is going towards
Hello.
NRG's favor with that dimensional drift.
हॅलो
On the cusp of having the Hunter's Fury.
And they braved
That's
that
a
power
combo.
spike from EDG.
This
They only gave up
wall,
one round.
it goes up from Chichu, and that's going to make it very safe for Brock to get that Hunter's Fury, in fact.
Now the pieces need to be put together. A minute left in the round. NRG still seem to be convinced that A is where they should be ending. Should clear a mid here, spotting out some. Who's next? Dimensional drift just to clear the way.
The rest of NRG temporarily going to be halted by that slow warp. Chichu obviously spotted out. There's that Hunter's Fury right onto him. Mata can just pop out, but it doesn't even need to. Brock with the accuracy.
Chichu had nowhere to go, and now Marta can get himself up into tower. He sees the bullet traces come through from Jenny. And he's got backup. Ethan will join him. Cove for the plant. Kang Kang here trying to get into vents maybe from mid. There's a chance at a timing here on Ethan.
And the spike is planted for these Heaven players, but Ethan going to need to win this 1v1.
टेक्निक असते माझे
Flash, what a flick! A correction that brings Kang Kang to his knees. And now nobody in Smoggy. do not have the money
कॉमेडीचं
to take the risk.
लोकेशन माहिती
They have to get the heck out and allow NRG within 2 rounds.
सेव्ह करतील भाई.
Are pushing us to overtime.
लिटरली फ्लॉलेस राउंड आहे.
Value of that ultimate comes
नाही
through for
नजर
NRG.
लागली आहे.
They work the map a bit with the op, which
बोललो फ्लॉलेस राउंड आहे आणि
Live.
नजर
The
लागली.
casual 25
Oh,
years
too bad.
regulation.
तो एक मित्र स्ट्रीम करता हम इसलिए
respect to the NRG players who've been able to surge up the scoreboard after an abysmal start.
मी बोलतोय ते होतंय.
22 for Scuba right now.
Oh,
I mean,
YouTube
what a great use of the
थांबा ना.
dimensional drift.
हे आशू आलो रे मी जरा वेळ.
Yeah, it is just the
हाँ
classic
बड़े बड़े
play.
This is deterministic. Chichu genuinely has nowhere to go.
He has been getting caught
Oh,
on a
wow,
lot
my
of
God, shot
these
by-
side executes.
खतरनाक
He's anchored in pretty hard positions most of the time.
That's the
खतरनाक भाई खतरनाक शॉट मार दो सही
Some frustration
Nice.
still starting to brew.
He's hacking for sure. He's hacking for sure.
8 of the last 9
12
rounds.
by
Won
10
by
EDG
NRG.
11 score कमी
Now EDG priced into a very weird kind of half buy, but they've got an op and 2 rifles. It's peculiar to say the least. Mata has gone ahead and picked up the outlaw for this round, and a great opportunity to do so. There's only one player on EDG with the full armor, that's nobody.
And again,
यहाँ
more
spawn होल्ड सोल्ड बस ले भाई
positioned for a push off the site. EDG have become a little bit more patient with those after Jenny got punished a couple of times consecutively. Kung is asking for more. The punish!
मतलब भाई
All
इसका तो
down,
सही
on his
रहे
hands,
तुम
clattering to the ground.
Absolute patience here from NRG. Cascade now thrown towards this B side, and the flash confirms that EDG have actually pushed in front of it. And off that audio cue, NRG, they want to hit the go button towards this A side, assuming there's multiple players pushing down. That assumption is correct. They are delayed on account of having to break this wall, further delayed by a slow orb as well.
Chichu just disrespects it. Paranoid doesn't catch on to him now, but surely there's something in place for that tower player. And yes, it's a multitude of barrels pointed that direction and a hail of bullets that brings Chichu to bear.
Genie just trying to get into the site to assist. Too little, too late. And EDG are once again just hurled into a save position. NRG can certainly go hunting.
Nobody looking for some garbage time frags, and Scooper is going to be handled. The money, though, still good enough for NRG.
I mean, nobody would be happy to get some kills here, honestly. Gets that Hunter's Fury for the final round of the game to try and close this out.
Weapon, though, stripped from his grasp. He knows the money. It's going to be another weird force-up for EDG to try and avert an overtime scenario as NRG have all the momentum.
Bear in mind, it was a 10-2 half for EDG to kick this game off. And NRG have clawed this all the way back on the attack side, their weaker side. That is stunning from them.
Yep.
The players with so much resolve. Scuba having a fantastic game, as is Brock.
He's disgusting.
Mata right back into it after a pretty tragic start. And EDG are going to be forced onto this timeout to try to close out the game in regular time. NRG on the cusp of bringing this to OT against all odds.
And why, once again, they can set up a really nasty side hit between this Steel Guard and this Reckoning. It's going to be really hard for EDG to anchor at all. So having to play for retake, having to flood back in with these somewhat weaker weapons is a big ask. There's going to be probably a Guardian in the mix here. Nobody has that Hunter's Fury, but EDG are definitely digging for pocket change. They've got a couple of buttons, some links, a couple of pennies. That's it. That's how they're going to try and avoid an overtime scenario, because the wind is in NRG sails for sure.
They just have so many high-power ultimates with this comp. They've been doing a great job at cycling the orbs to certain players. There's really only one moment in this entire half where EDG actually had the advantage in terms of the ults. One round only. And that was the one they converted. It was when they got a Hunter's Fury with the Dimensional Drift off. Outside of that, it has been all NRG.
Neither team able to find a foothold on defense. The rounds have come few and they've come far between. Mata's been able to step up. Ridiculous flick entering that site previously. Chichu just blown into next Tuesday from that op shot. Can EDG lock it down here? Looks like maybe a push up mid here for Jenny early. Trying to drive a wedge around the plans of NRG on this attack side. Here's round 24, lock in.
Mata does have that operator once again. Out of the timeout, EDG, they want to get very proactive towards mid. Look at this pushdown from Kong. He might meet Ethan
Right through the corner of the wall. All right, rack one up for the Guardian fans early in the round.
It's just having that higher bullet penetration damage. Ethan out of the round, but they are running a double controller comp. If they weren't, man, it would feel over for NRG. But they still have that high tide to execute with.
Still have the Steel Garden and the Reckoning too.
They want to go towards this B site. They've won a number of rounds over there. I think their best executes have been on the B site, really.
Marta's posted up. He's seeing nothing from B. Again, they have to plant coast, otherwise Smoggy will threaten to spray them down as they try and plant again.
Som just creeping forward. All of the space taken for free. Smoggy dodges out that arc rose.
Here comes the controller util. Cascade to block. Smoggy will be spotted out by this Owl drone. Important information here for NRG.
And the spike is going down back site. EDG, they've got the Hunter's Fury for the retake, but Scuba is going to initially use this Steel Garden up close. That's just going to be a lot of delay, time wasted for EDG. And then next, it's going to be the Reckoning, cycling these ultimates to just cause so much delay. It's going to make EDG scramble late to get this spike defused.
They're playing completely off the site. NRG just careful about a potential flank here. Hunter's Fury for nobody. That's Brock being brought down a second for Kung, and there goes Scuba. Now what? Some on the other side of that high tide. Mata chimes in from close nest, and that's the spray for two. It's on Chichu and Kung to stop the overtime. But it's Mata now ready to receive around the corner and straight down the abyss. We get overtime in our first map of the series. It doesn't get any better than this.
And you had to believe that all of NRG's work was for naught when those players go down, when it's left to just Som and Mata. What on earth? That transfer from Ethan with the Vandal catches Ginny on the entry. And Mata holding the cross.
Some with the correction there as well.
And just lives for a bit. Mata pushes onto Chichu, ready for the jump. Unbelievable.
Like, come on, man! Like, come
How
on,
have
man!
they done it? EDG were up 10-2.
10-2's the new 9-3 wire.
And they won both pistol rounds. Both of them.
Deep breaths. EDG on the attack side now as we begin overtime. Glass cannon up for Mata, as is customary. He'll have that mid lockdown for now.
Drone going up this B side. At the moment, all of EDG stacked up, just using that clone to activate the shear wall, remove that piece of passive info gain from the map.
Dangerous here for Scuba. Might be seen through a corner.
This is a position he's been playing very frequently back when they were on defense.
Kung opts not to cross there. Som getting pressured. Jenny out of nowhere. Scuba at least had to take a trade. Found nobody. Kung gets involved again. Brock just walked into the sideline of Chichu there. It's breaking down all across the map. Planet Coast.
They've really just been rooted out of the common positions they were playing. Ethan at least does get the one back onto Chichu, who is holding the cross.
Means NRG have a real shot at a retake.
Kong somehow, by the way, has a dimensional drift at the moment.
Spotted out onto Smoggy. Nice little connection. Kung down. Defense on Jimmy.
Jimmy's isolated. That's the teleport.
It doesn't seem to matter. He'll take the fight either way. And even Mata can't make the flick. Jenny on his feet. And EDG secure themselves a match point.
And maybe they can close this out on OT. They finally get a reprieve from the nightmare of playing defense. They're back to their favorite side. They immediately convert. They immediately root out those NRG anchors from the B side. They were playing in much the same positions that they did when they were running defense before. Scuba kind of pressed forward towards that cliff and punished yet again.
What a moment for the newcomer to EDG. He was isolated, essentially alone. But the two players in tower for NRG concerned about the individual off the site on NRG's side. And not the duelist threat right under their noses.
Now it's a timeout call for EDG. They want to close this game out now.
Yeah, it's this problematic defense side, right? They really need to have a set approach to this round to secure themselves the map. They've done the hard work, got themselves at least into this position. I'm already seeing some interesting buys come up here, so we'll see if this follows.
I mean, the harder work might be coming up, honestly, going back to defense. But it's got to feel good to just finally, deep breath, we got a round. I want to see if Kong is going to commit to buying a glass cannon off on defense, same as Mata just did. Certainly would not be a surprise.
Down to the wire in this first map between NRG and EDG. Such a compelling mix of veterans, literal world champions, and then hungry, young, talented shooters from their respective regions. Jenny from the academy roster of EDG. And of course, Scuba, Mata, Brock, all brought in up from challengers. Som reprising his role in this team. And honestly, Ethan, who's come so far in his leadership and how he set up his teammates. Pretty wild. We get this kind of matchup so early on in this tournament. Our opener here in Group C is already delivering.
It is wild to see Scuba, Mata, and Brock, just that top graduating class of Challengers players from 2024. These guys didn't even make it to Ascension, but the heights that they're reaching now with NRG are absolutely insane. Taking it to last year's World Champions in their very first global match.
And here we go, folks. Both teams opted to take a timeout there, so an extended pause. NRG wanted to concoct something for this attack side, which looks to us is early A presence.
And they will be going up against the operator for Kong, which has been dominant on this map. Chichu just in A main at the moment.
Okay, Brooks sees a recon come out of vent there.
That door is broken very early, and there's going to be a drone down mid.
Chichu with a slow orb now. Sees the clone come through. Flash on him. He has to retreat. Play back in tower.
Now that is a lot of utility expended.
I think they're serious about this. They've even thrown in this paranoia. They want the plant here on the A side.
They are going for that full re-hit Cove down to try and get the safe plant for NRG. They've been doing a good job taking space after the plant has gone down on prior rounds. They want to do it again.
What a shock down to force nobody back. That lets Mata get up rope. He could have been pushed up while he was climbing, but through the smoke, Chichu is able to find him. Now Ethan will stall. Smoke up towards tower, and he'll occupy it himself.
Ethan just biding time in the smoke is going to have to make a serious play happen. Gets the first.
And he got away with it as well. That is ridiculous. Now TP back to a safe haven in A main. Som up on the side. Waiting for this push around the left side, and there's Jenny. Serves himself up. Resell up for EDG, though, but time is not on their side. Ethan spraying at the spike location as Chichu has to give it a tap. He's brought down. What's the contingency here for EDG? No other option but to stand and face the music. And it's not the track they would have picked. Sorry, guys, NRG's got the jukebox now.
That was a beautiful game plan from NRG. They get all of the util out of Chichu, re-hit with that high tide up. They push for the heaven control. Mata goes down. Disastrous that he sprayed through the smoke. But Ethan retains that position. It's bold. He gets his one and then teleports back to main. A second high tide goes up from Som. Canvases the site, but leaves the spike open. He gets forward while the rest of them are able to just play spam with the Phantoms in main.
Yes! Good call.
Really sick game plan. Worked exactly as they drew it up in that timeout.
Now away we go. Second innings of overtime. It is Mata in an odd spot. Nobody was able to find two. Around that, though, was Ethan going down first, so your stall potential severely limited on the defense side, and Brock sees a shoulder peek. Jenny gobbles him up.
Brock absolutely needed to get that one and really thought that he would. Som is creeping back into the site. He needs to make a heroic play, but he's caught by Jenny.
And Aldrone is a problem. Some ice at the sky. Doesn't see the threat right in front of him. Scuba is in a 1v4. This is NRG just fighting to avert a map loss at this point. High-low set up there. Jenny slides on in, takes the fight, and converts.
Jenny has had absolutely no lack of confidence given the weight of this game, the situation that EDG are in, the prestige of the team that he's found himself on at such a critical moment in their history.
Strange variation, isn't it, from NRG to push up an A-man and take
They
the fight.
just want to try something new. It's just something that they haven't done before, right? And nothing else has worked, so hell, let's throw a curveball at them, but it doesn't pay off.
Now, how many ideas do EDG have left on their defense side? That's our question.
And this cascade is going to be thrown out over towards A main from Som, trying to apply some pressure. It's a high tide towards mid. NRG are making it feel like they are pushing up multiple lanes of the map right now, which is true, but it's the B side that's one of them.
Mata by no means is committed. Can always pull the plug with a gate crash should he need to. Looking on Genie, he might want to take a fight, realizing his window is closed.
And with that drone coming through vent from nobody, Mata absolutely has to retreat.
Allows Genie to reposition towards B.
Mata sticking around mid for just a moment, has the gate crash to get back towards the team, while they are really trying to get these orbs onto Som, get a reckoning for this round. Wow, Mata, he hears Kong on the retreat. He knows he went up into heaven. He's taking this timing off that audio
Oh,
cue.
gate crash! That could have been awkward. But Kong is noted by Mata. He is in the perfect spot to punish him. And how? He gets it up with full armor.
That's so sick. Can hold the angle towards spawn now. They've left Ethan as this late wrap towards mid. Is nobody aware? He's got an idea that it's certainly possible.
Now it's been confirmed. He can't win the fight out though. Ethan, in many of those crucial 1v1s away from the play, has found success.
And at that, Som, with that effort to round the world, get the orbs, get Som the plant. They have the reckoning as well. And Mata, ready on the angle, is always so sick with the flick shots.
Eventually he'll be brought down. That's Chichu making his way in through security. Naturally, EDG just have to go for this.
Last player
Chichu picked off up on side, and now it's on Jenny. Fast lane to maybe cover the sideline. But Som riddles him with bullets.
Feels like this one might be going all night, Mitch.
Okay,
switching sides.
that's fine. It's just day two. We have energy in great reserves.
Surely at some point, one of these teams will figure out how to win a round on defense. It's only a matter of
I
time.
mean, both have been mixing it up, or at least attempting to.
Yeah, they've been trying, but
But Mata just off his own timing, able to explore onto that A side. Just want the gate crash back for Kong is what unravels them.
yeah, and he hears Kong running away. That's when he calls for everyone to rotate back. That's when he gets into the site.
He's shot to the top of the scoreboard, by the
Mata
way.
is back to that glass cannon operator, used it in the first OT round.
Som pinged out. Rather unperturbed, but knows there's going to be pressure headed in his direction. He'll opt to leave the
Yeah, he
code.
needs to run. EDG are all the way up mid with both duelists at the moment.
Still plenty of ability to stall here as they back up.
But they're pivoting into this B split right into the op angle.
Jenny picked off. Scuba has been left as an insert here, and if Chichu challenges and isn't ready for it, that's the spike that goes loose. Now on the side is Kong. How's he supposed to fight off this?
Wall up in mid, nobody going to be spotted up on account of that flash, the audio cue, the ping.
Straight up shield wall here for NRG. They've all congregated around this spike drop.
Kong doesn't have a flash to pop out of this dark cover, just has to wait for it to expire. Straight up raw gun duels need to be won by him in heaven.
There's layers of double swings here set up for NRG. Potentially, Scuba finds the first. That's the Olu down. Mata always good on the angle. And NRG finally gain advantage in this overtime with a flawless.
And this might just be it. NRG finally have the lead in this game. They finally convert a round on defense. Mata with this operator completely catches out EDG on that B split up mid, and Scuba tucks in the corner. Mata makes it seem like he's the only presence there. Scuba has been playing
man.
so many really dug in B site anchor positions. Bongar trying to remain cool, calm, and
Preserves some
collected
energy.
that time.
Just the first map of the series. Kong with an early push up into main, and Mata is felled instantly. Ethan considers standing and fighting, but knows he's not favored.
No, Kong, he wants to keep this going.
But this is wild. TP forward, Jenny's on the line. Timing favors Ethan, and he's got himself up mid, Wyatt.
Another rest of energy, they're congregating towards B main, that cascade going into the site. Ethan playing around this high tide.
Smokey has to get off the side. It's so dangerous for him to be there.
Knows he can get out now. That recon doesn't ping anyone at bookshelf. All of energy moving up towards this site. They're not close to any ultimates at the moment, not like that last round where they had the reckoning. This is just an honest 4-on-4 retake. Kong still has a lot of util in that kit. Chichu could even try to wall to defuse the spike. There are options for EDG on this retake.
Ethan's refreshed the spot. Kong has to challenge it, and he wins it out. Brock now aware that Interlopers could be coming down from heaven, but he's ready and connected. Chichu gets the better of him now. Around the corner, EDG out of absolutely bloody nowhere. And said 30 rounds is not enough for us. Bring us another.
Suddenly both teams just decide it's time to win the defensive round. NRG make you believe that this is the moment to close it out. They get the lead, they get the spike down, it's a 4-on-4.
One enemy.
But Kong wins that important initial duel against Ethan. EDG able to just retake back into connector off the back of it.
Massive Massive round.
We just keep going.
Marta is up to 28 kills.
After an abysmal start on this map, that is the most Marta-coded result. How does he always get away with this?
Time to jump.
Couldn't have set it up any better, and now NRG need to win another defense side
Game
round.
जाते रहे
Oh, buddy. Little shocked up there.
Fair little bit of damage. Onto Hong Kong, who will retrieve that orb. Wants to get close to that dimensional drift. Uses the clone in case the wall was placed there, but it is not. It's over on that B side.
Now, EDG really haven't worked any of the rest of the map. They're in the dark.
Now, you can see this adjustment, I think, from NRG. They have that wall deep on B because they've been getting exploited on the executes with Genie running deep into the site. And now they'll know when that's the case, when that wall gets activated. They're doubled up, face towards main.
That sets them up for a fallback as well off that high-low position on B, should they desire it. This is glacial compared to most of EDG's attack side rounds.
I mean, that last one was just a burst pop, split onto B. And now NRG, they want to adjust their positioning, given that the drone has spotted out their idea of that high-low.
Scuba didn't show himself to it, though. No guarantee about where the Vice is set up.
30 seconds on the clock, EDG, they're gathering up towards A main, and look at NRG. They know what's up. They're already on the move, trying to get to the safe side. They need to support their anchors in time.
Paranoia might slow things down a little bit here, but EDG know they've got to commit. Brock waiting for a ping, sees Jenny. Dodging, ducking, dipping, dodging, diving away. Down to about 40%, but here's Som. Kang takes the fight at the back of the side, but Som's able to find his second.
Down A.
Kang sees nothing but a clone. Som waiting for him to show up.
10 seconds.
Kang on the side, it's Brock making use of the wall that Chi-Chi's been abusing all game long. That's 4 for Som. Just firm handshakes for the boys. As NRG again find themselves on map point.
Unbelievable play from Som. Goes
10 seconds left.
for those 2 1v1s. Gets the win on both. Then stays alive, playing around the high tide, throws down the cove. Swings out while the rest of the team offer up the distraction, fighting forward.
Yeah, you got to doubt the boys up.
Crazy play. That is the energy from Volgar coming back. NRG with another opportunity to now close this game out.
And EDG back on defense. Once again, an early info push. We'll tell them that a rotate might be in order.
All of NRG gathered up in spawn towards this A side. Chi-Chu once again playing the anchor on this position. This time the wall far deeper. Still has a slow orb in the kit as well to just offer some stall for this flanking effort from EDG to come to fruition. They're all the way basically in the attacker spawn at this point.
Nobody, of course, the recon from Tower will be crucial. He might have a chance to make use of it. The spray takes him low. Marta not able to finish the job, and unwise to just how low he's gotten this over.
This is new from EDG to have so many players retaking from the flank. NRG have been playing for that main spam a lot.
No plant yet. They're going to fight into security now in numbers, and they roll over Chi-Chu and nobody. Now it's up to Smoggy inside Tower, and from A main come the rest of EDG.
It's the perfect adjustment at the perfect time from NRG.
Brock low, sprayed down, sat in the relay bottom, still alive somehow. Jenny puts him out of his misery though. Favouring NRG, still in numbers. They're playing at the back of the site, but they've got to make a move. And here's Jenny, steps up on his own, brought down. Kang can't succeed. And Smoggy can't bail them out. From 2 to 10 at half-time. NRG with the resilience of prospective champions come alive and reclaim Abyss.
They were down 10-2 and lost both their pistols to Smoggy clutches. They bring it to OT and close it out. That is shocking.
You wanted some good ass Valorant? You got it. You'd be mental to go anywhere else. Corrode on the docket for our next map. Don't go too far.
Now that I'm a mom, things are different. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose different plans. We get what we want and we save money. Love that for me.
An update is required. Financial system updating. System updated.
We will dance together.
The future of money is here. Feels good.
Esports World Cup, where we are starting off with VALORANT.
If you want to win, you have to win against the best.
So looking for revenge.
There's the shorty, and Albion goes crazy!
They've all battled through the pressure and expectation. Heretics have come back all the way!
Finally, we won. Finally.
Quite a map. That was amazing. Congratulations on that. How were the boys able to come back from that? The score was 2-11 at some point in favor of EDG. Talk to us about how the boys were able to adjust and how you think that carries over into your map pick of Corrode.
Yeah, I mean, so after halftime on defense, we spoke briefly. We said we're unfortunate. Quite some rounds on defense, to be honest, especially the pistol round. We just said round by round, do our set stuff, follow our protocols and everything, and we felt it that we were a little bit better than them. We were just a little bit unfortunate, to be honest. But then, yeah, round by round, great calling as well.
Round by round. Well, let's keep it going. All right, good luck.
What a game that was for NRG to come back after an 11-2 start, 2-11 start even, against EDG. We were hyping up the second game being one of the best we're going to see today, but my goodness, I can't wait for to see how this series is going to turn out.
I mean, that is the map of the tournament. Every other map is going to have to beat that one because that was an absolute nail-biter, pulling it all the way back in OT for NRG.
And the way they did it, too. I mean, there were so many things that we could talk about that map, but I think the resilience that NRG showed was probably the most impressive.
But first, let's take a look at our HyperX reflex moment of the day. This one goes to Smoggy. Can't believe this is how the game started.
Yeah, everything started so poorly for NRG as well. Smoggy in a 1-on-3 here, just stealing things away. absolutely mental that he was able to pull away. This was just a classic.
Yeah, a classic light armor in 3 freaking snaking around the map. Nobody ever really knew exactly where he was. And to be fair, to give Smuggy his credit, he played that to perfection.
Oh yeah, his movement here is so good.
Oh yeah, I loved his pathing. I love how he played every single part of his positioning, and obviously being able to hit the shots is the most important part. Smuggy did that, but you mentioned it. From the beginning up until whatever round it was when the comeback started, they played, I mean, NRG looked lost, dude. We were talking about it, and I said, why do NRG look so lost? Because they looked like they had never played the map before.
And truthfully, it's an abyss moment. Like,
yeah.
you forget, this is the most attack-sided map that we've got. Like, back when we were seeing it, and we started things off round 1, slipping away. This is round 24, where Som is an absolute rat on site. Yeah. He started playing these sites in OT as well, where he was just hanging out, getting multiple kills. Mada as well, taking out Pom-Pom. It's just cinema.
To force OT, a 1v1 between those two guys, and Mada plucks him out of the sky. It was poetic.
And I love the energy Som was bringing as well onto that stage. Yep. I was down there for a little bit with Katie and Kelly. You could really just feel the stress, first of all, from the NRG fans.
Oh yeah.
But then just the pure energy radiating off of the players on stage. Also, 16 out of 16 plants coming out of NRG. They had a great game plan on that attack side.
Yeah, they did such a good job, and I think that they really figured out, especially just playing their post plants in particular. A lot of teams will fall off of the site on Abyss early on, play the post plant, especially over towards B, but I think NRG consistently were leaving players on site and fighting forward. You think there's A post plants where they're going up rope multiple times. The first player dies, they're down numbers, but they keep fighting, and it worked.
Oh, it's rough if you're an EDG fan, so I hope Coach Muggle had some nice words to say ahead of map 2.
Hey guys, Mika and Valora here with Muggle of EDG. That was a very tough map to lose on. It was very, very exciting, but unfortunately for EDG, they do have to make that comeback now. I'm curious because we saw Chichu on the stage role. So what is the dynamics like, especially since it might be Chichu might have a little bit of a hard time falling from that role? Does nobody come in to help him? Can you tell us a little bit about the team and dynamics in that kind of situation?
首先，可能确实很遗憾，咱们今天没能拿下统一的胜利。但是也想问一下，因为我们看到今天球是来到了一个贤者的位置上，我们可能会觉得又要做贤者，然后又是指挥，可能会稍微有一些困难嘛。对他来说，会不会相应影响到他的一些风格？同时 ，Nobody 也在这个时候会去协助他吗？
其实他这个位置就是也是属于那种少尉嘛，所以就是偏站后面的队伍比较靠后的位置，所以不太会影响他的那个场上的指挥风格。然后 Nobody 就是基本上现在会在中期的时候做那种，就是可能队伍需要一个方向，因为他不一定，因为球不一定在队伍的这一边嘛，然后 Nobody 就会在这种时候去帮助他。
So I think it won't affect a lot on Chichu because he's the sentinels of our team. He always like on the backside of the team. So it gave him the room and the time to think about what he's gonna do. So it won't affect a lot. And nobody gonna to share the responsibility with him. And especially during the game in the mid round, maybe sometimes Chichu is not on the side with the team, and nobody will do some callings.
Well, eager to see that tandem on Corrode. Good luck to the team.
I mean, it's a very interesting dynamic, right? Having nobody mid-round a lot of the times, and Chichu was really stepping into the IGL role. On the stage, I mean, he was individually performing well as well, but what do we expect from Corrode? Because this is NRG's map pick.
Yeah, and this is a map that has been so strong for NRG, and they're playing a funky comp. We've got a KO in the mix, and we've got a Waylay, and they play with multiple Odins as well. So I think that this team, one of the things that EDG are going to have to beat is especially those Waylay execs onto sites. I think what we've seen from Mada in the past is he can overwhelm the B site. Usually that would mean diving over Vi's utility and these things like that, but EDG, Doug, don't play with a Senti on this map.
No, and that really just, yeah, I think that begs the question on how will Waylay find the same level of efficacy, given that that's not a part of the equation.
Is this a Waylay?
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
I don't either.
Like, is he gonna Waylay? You guys don't. You don't have that in Americas? Okay, never mind. Yeah. Do you know what slay means?
Yes, yes, yes.
My goodness.
I'm sorry, we're kind of just no-butting you here instead of yes-anding.
Yeah.
We need to do a little bit better. Honestly, Mata, incredible on this map.
So he does Wasteland.
Yeah. We'll give you that. He's locking in that next to Ethan's KO. Of course, on the other side of things, it is that double duelist look for EDG. Not switching anything right there. They get start things off on attack, but I am a little bit concerned on the defensive side if they have enough stopping power to deal with this NRG comp. And as a result, so much will rest on Kong and Jenny to stop NRG before they actually get onto the execs.
I'm also a little concerned about their attack side, to be honest. I think they 1-4 a lot. They don't really put a ton of focus into the middle of the map. Given that they don't have a Senti, I guess they probably don't feel like they can play quite that way. But
yo,
I think NRG are going to abuse that. We know how proficient they are on the defensive side, although
let's go NRG.
Given what we just saw, I'm concerned. I'm genuinely concerned for EDG here.
I'm just so excited to see the Odins.
Yep.
I want to see that come. I want to see how EDG deal with it. If NRG have even more they can show.
They do, and I'm so glad that we saw Scuba, the rookie, show up in.
NRG का map है.
Yeah, he was. No, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna save the punt.
This
I'm gonna
is
save the punt because the game is too exciting for us to hee hee ha ha. Let's get back in and send this over to Uber and Wyatt.
An unreal moment of vindication for NRG. A comeback that ties the greatest in Champions history, obviously around delta of 9.
Decider heaven होता. मजा मत.
Just taking over.
OT जोन मार रहा है.
12 finishes, 31 kills at the end of the
game.
That is stunning from him. Now swapping over to the Waylay, this has been the go-to comp for NRG. It's the comp that has them sitting at a 4-0 record on this map. They have been one of the absolute best in Americas here, if not the best. And last we saw them play it, they destroyed Sentinels on that attack side.
But this is statistically EDG's best map, Wyatt. They have had so much success on Corrode so far. It is starting off with a front foot.
Is that just 2 spam kills?
It looks like it.
Top smoke?
There was a smoke there.
I'll need to see that on the replay. But seems like some good fortune to get back into this game after a really tragic defeat on map 1.
There's obviously an exchange of shots. Jenny down to 50, but there's great intuition there for EDG. Know exactly where to be looking.
A site now, very open.
Spike planted.
Just have to deal with Mata back site. Assam, Scuba going to gather up. The 3 of them all trying to get back in from this same side. They are smoked off, though, by that dark cover.
Yep. Dark cover will allow them at least to assemble themselves before trying to flood here with their remaining 3. Here's Mata. Well, he can refresh if he needs to, but trade it out before he can get on away. It's on Scuba in a 1v2. Tough to win these, especially on the reload. Chichu brings him down.
Chichu has that late wrap coming through elbow for the backstab to make sure they close things out as a guarantee. I just want to see on the replay what happened at the beginning of the round, because that basically dictated the entire...
You are mad. You're mad. Not even a smoke, bro.
Oh, no.
They're out in the open.
Yeah, they did see them out in the open just crossing. That's just a mistake from NRG. Awkward time to be dropping down there.
Very,
very awkward. All right, EDG just make that one look easy, and that's a nice little confidence booster pistol round to win, to forget your woes of map 1 and
obviously
back into this swinging.
Expectancy plenty of spam through smokes. NRG have their characteristic double scan initiator. Obviously they have the KO on this map, which is fairly unique to them. But no one really does it like Ethan.
Well, Chichu definitely knows that they pushed out of A. That was a lot of footsteps that he was hearing, so EDG just accelerate into this site. That's awkward.
Right in front of Scuba. We'll be able to find a second, though. Scuba had no information of anything that was happening outside of his direct sphere of influence there. So there'll still be a spike stick. 2 players top mid for NRG. Obviously not bored up whatsoever. Right click central, anybody? Summer smokes. Here's Mata steps up, brought down instantly. Som suffers a similar fate. And Brook will be on the outside looking in.
Spike planted.
EDG really play with some patience here, just ensure that they get those NRG players actually dealt with before the spike goes down, offer them a timing to go over some aggression while planting. Just take it nice and easy, claim the kills. Kong working decently towards that dimensional drift early as well, has 4 orbs.
Might be worth keeping an eye on Brook as this game progresses. I think
Nobody
has
फक्त
maybe brought the
सोवाच
Odin spam back into vogue in Americas.
The Odin has been the hallmark of NRG's success on defense, especially in the map pool we have right now with Corrode, Ascent, and Lotus. All maps where the scan initiator thrives with that weapon, and Brock is absolutely one of the best and easily one of the most frustrating players to play against when he picks it up. That is absolutely something that EDG are going to need to be very prepared for.
Yeah, it just makes fighting for mid so crazily like they did on the pistol not really a safe option.
Every wall on A is easily spammable. Can just fight spamming all of the corners, deny trade swings to come in because you're getting stalled by the bullets, slowed down. It's very frustrating to deal with, and he's, of course, picked it up already.
It's got to be said, though, EDG coming back from a bit of a flattener there on Abyss. And done well to get themselves this early lead, converting off the pistol. His bonus, though, features, Marshall, mix of sheriffs. There's still a Guardian here for Smoggy.
Okay, Crash goes up mid, but that is just fake.
Timing रे मारानी काढला असता याला
given by EDG.
कांकांगला.
Yeah, they are taking their time right now, working both extremities of the map now. Both B main and A main control. Safe from NRG. They don't want to throw him away right now. From Mata, though, that's very aggro. Just runs into two players. Shot down.
This likely allows for a spike scoop up and maybe even move over to the B side.
Yeah, they've got that full control on that side of the map.
Yeah, no rotates pulled.
You know, on this execute, players could get stalled out on account of mollies and the choke.
He's going to walk up again?
Yeah,
he's got a 0 point.
Spot out with more.
Dangerous. Jenny wants to slide on in. It looks like they want to force the issue. Scuba's away in the corner yet again.
Oh, Scuba. Crazy. Nice 3K.
30 seconds
Bro was
left.
poised and waiting for that. Another little rat spot for Scuba pays off.
That is one sight anchor that you never want to run into. That duo of Scuba and Brock have been so potent for these NRG defensive sides while anchoring. They certainly didn't get to show that off on Abyss, but I think on this map, Corrode,
10 seconds left.
and multiple other maps in the pool, they are definitely the standouts in that regard.
Yeah, we saw Ethan and Brook mostly on that A side on defense. But that definitely puts a stop to some of the plans from EDG, and obviously not enough time in the round here to make anything happen for it. So NRG pleased with this result, win the round, lose one gun, keep the Odin, and flatten EDG as they attempt to be here.
Not too bad considering they lost Mata very early on there off that little A main push that he went on early.
Yeah, bro likes to simmer a little bit before he really comes alive. He's like sea monkeys. You gotta add some water, let it go for a couple of days, and bam. Instant entertainment, just add water.
That is a little bit chaotic. And Scuba handles it with some poise. All right, towards B main at the moment. Taking that space quite early yet again. Pop flash over so Scuba can get that peek.
Nothing to be seen though, as EDG are actually playing pretty conservatively on the B side.
Kong Kong was tucked behind that wall, so not spotted out. Prowler has to be used now for the reclear. Someone could have posted up in main.
Brock is over at A this time around. Scuba with off angle here. He's what a problem he's been.
Can he actually get out? I mean, he's overwhelmed by Util, and Ethan is now into support.
And he's safely back in halls. Ethan can now post up.
A Kong is down to 1 HP in the corner.
How does he get out of here? Spike loose as well. Plenty of time board for all the King's horses and men to arrive on the side. Can EDG put this back together? At least better drop to the side, but God, pushing any further than where Kang is should be lethal.
Yeah, NRG, they're not rushing this. They're just playing off this crossfire setup. Teacher,
nice.
Right in the eyes of Scuba. Guy is unflappable so far.
Storm the blind.
Smoke refreshing the tower. Kang was 1 HP, so a strong breeze would have blown him over.
आता knife घेतली याने. Damn. Flawless round. Nice. It was a very important round.
Scuba again, this anchoring on the B site. Little bit of a change from the prior, of course, where he's tucked in the corner. This time, yeah, plays that off angle. Gets the spot just before the wall is fully activated. That was a collat that brought Kong Kong down to 1. And then Ethan gets right in. And I love how they play this. They just set up that backside crossfire. They don't over-aggress. They just play it patient. They allow for the rest of the team to rotate in.
And EDG tries to get something going before the rotators get there, so they at least have a shot.
And they just can't. They just can't with that NRG setup. And now EDG, they are relegated to a very peculiar bye. With a Bucky, just a frenzy for nobody. It's back into this beast site. Scuba denies it yet again.
Confident up on the angle. Once again, Jenny just dashes on him like wave on rock. Smoggy wants to inch forward here. It looks like EDG are priced into this wire one way or another.
NRG, they can just
Damn,
kind of take the time, wait for everyone to group up. This time play for that full retake. They have a lot of tools to do, and Nightfall goes through that link, but what can they get off of it? Nothing really. EDG.
I'm not sure if that caught onto anyone.
Want to double up and spawn.
Marta, oh, the double ping is pretty good. Very lightning. Som able to back up Marta. Converts that kill and
Damn. Nobody. Barrage HP. Damn, bhai. Damn.
And NRG on a bit of a roll here on defense now that they've found their footing.
We've seen this NRG team in situations like this, getting the ball rolling on defense, completely taking over the game, and being an absolute wall for the attackers.
Damn, bhai. Damn.
Damn. And 3 rounds in a row, he's finding kills anchoring. That's Ginny just overextended, no one able to support, goes down, and then NRG retreat. They're able to play for the retake.
Hey, why are they testing the kid, man?
It's a great question.
Referring to yourself in the third person, I'm impressed. This has got to be a timeout for EDG, surely.
And Scuba is sat at 8 kills already, has the Viper's Pit. On his global debut, back-to-back maps, has been absolutely whatsoever.
Damn.
I think against Sentinels, also against G2.
Yeah, even in the finals,
top players by far.
Where they struggled against G2, Scuba was their top player. And in that game against Sen, the lower bracket final, that was Brock having a star-making performance. He played very well on Abyss, but I was in that lower bracket final where Brock went plus 30 on kills, 9 first kills, 0 first deaths
against Sentinels
in 4 maps.
Yep.
Just an obscene game from him.
Yeah,
we know what he's capable of.
He was 82 for 52 over 4 maps.
And this is one of the maps where he absolutely lit them up.
Now, of course, like we've mentioned, much more still to be seen from EDG on what has been their best map.
Chewing gum ka do, chewing gum.
Leverage this double duelist a bit more extensively now that the dimensional drift is available to Kang.
We did mention it on Abyss, and I think it is worth mentioning again, just that NRG have a wealth of experience against double duelist teams in their Omega group in Americas. 4 out of 5 opponents they went up against were double duelist committed teams. They have prepped so hard for this in their runs against champions that they absolutely know the style EDG have here.
And something I'm looking for from EDG is just how they put together their set plays on the attack side, because against Shilai Gaming, they win the Thrifty in round 2 of both attack and defense half. Pretty good, at least regionally, at dealing with that gun disadvantage. Not a factor in this round, they have to buy it. Want to see more from them.
A lot of spam coming down mid. Brock playing in that A link, just dispensing his various pieces of utility to get some info as to what EDG's plan in mid is, and there isn't much of one. They've retreated after spamming, after making all that noise to get into A main, take all of that space.
All right, convergent paths being wound up here.
This could be potent, the convergent paths with the Odin spam.
Yeah, that hindrance buff could be a debuff rather, could be a huge issue for EDG if they try and break through a main. Here's that dimensional drift flow for Kang. He's going to get ahead of the game to some degree. And here comes the pass now. Ready to fight is Marta. Jenny falls back and hindered down. Got to be a follow-up at some point, and Marta does not want to overextend. Knows that EDG waiting on the other side of this wall, but doesn't serve them anything up for free until Jenny steps up and sits down. Brock with the Odin. It's a devastating combination, and it's knocked EDG down to 2 players.
30 seconds
wow,
left.
what a shot from Chichu. Just pops out of the smoke with some rapid pace. Scooter is on a very
Damn,
towards A main, so Ethan going to need to buy his time, but he's actually just forced into the duel. EDG take it to him with both players, but do they expect Scuba this late?
Scuba, just so you know, we're going to test the boy again.
That was the kid, I believe.
Oh, the kid. Sorry.
The boy works as well.
8-3 already. 6 rounds in. A lot on his plate for Chichu. He's gobbled up instantly. That was out to Kang into the finest cuisine on offer here from EDG. Time though, not on Scuba's side. It doesn't seem to matter. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, and it goes rolling. Scuba steps up to sit Kang down.
It may just be time to stop testing Scuba. Relentless right now on Corrode. Supreme anchoring on that B site into the 1 versus 2 clutch. But I do want to talk about prior in this round, the moment from Brock, which was after the convergent paths were used, really stalled out EDG's effort to get into that A site. And then once they are finally able to kind of go for that second wave entry, they're hit by the saturate as well, and that's when Brock just pops off. Chill as ever, ice cold as we've seen him on the run to get here.
That brand of nonchalance only seen in NA Zoomers. It pays off for NRG. Kung working towards yet another dimensional drift. Sorry, 0 point off the rip that conveyed a little bit of info to Ethan.
It's another half buy here for EDG. Couple rifles, couple stingers, no ultimates to their name just yet. Maybe Genie could get an overdrive active in this round.
Mata for the timing.
Yeah, just expected another step forward, but it was 1 step back there.
They're going to test the kid again.
This site has been uncrackable, but they are going for it. They're running into Scuba. He's got the molly ready. He's forced to retreat on account of that relay pull. Genie spotted out by Ethan, but no opportunity to really face into that.
Yeah, could have had him gobbled up though. He got his wall, so dangerous place to be up against the Odin, and Jenny is on the receiving end.
Oh, that's a crazy adjustment. They still have to deal with Scuba here, and Ethan doubled up, high-low.
Perfect, wasn't even needed there. Scuba very comfortable from that spot. Brock eventually though was brought down. Still no plant. Nobody has to stick it here.
Chichu miles away, has to get through B main. Smoke's coming down now from Ethan. Paranoid as well connects.
The setup was perfect. Ethan picks off nobody like it's nobody's business. And Chichu now has to play off the side entirely. Retake ball being toggled in his way, that's a factor. But Ethan is taken down handily. Now the Biathis pit is set up for him to get back in. Risky business. Som's looking to get this to half and likely to get off. It's outside of the pit. Dangerous as Chichu shows himself with the tracers. And Some blows into smithereens.
Just a commitment to testing this B site.
भाई माझा आवाज पण नाही कॅप्चर करत रे मी किंचाळतोय.
NRG, the way that they're adjusting their setups with those 2 anchors of Ethan and Scuba, and consistently able to buy time for the rotates to come through. The support from Brock was right in time. That was a pretty nasty adjustment onto the swing from Ginny. And then after the fact, though, they just can't get into backside. We've seen this on multiple occasions. The backside is fully controlled by Ethan and Scuba. That time a high-low on a prior round of Crossfire.
Chichu, though, brimming with confidence, even in that 1 versus 3, spends the Viper's pit in order to give him a way back into the B side.
A lot of confidence, but also feels like desperation. We need to get a round on the board, and I'm going to try to do whatever it takes to claw for it. And it's all for naught. That ultimate just thrown to the wind.
Proper buy here, though. Late 0 point should tell a lot. Catch on to 2 in mid, and the Neon spotted, crucially.
There are 4 ultimates available for NRG on this round. Scuba has pivoted towards this A site.
That's a tag on the clone by the looks of things. Nothing off that Hunter's Fury, but Scuba now preemptively throws a Viper's pit down on the A side. This isn't enough yet to deter EDG. They may exit via a link, though.
Yeah, all of it encompassed by that. All the EDG feeling pressure to retreat.
Oh, Scuba's here? Let's go the other one.
Yeah, genuinely, time to go to B, but now you're going to deal with Brock with that Odin and the total lack of main control. You know, when they come in, Brock could try to go for some spam, retreat back to elbow, and then Mata has the cross with this opposite push onto it. Oh, like another wall, it's bad, Jenny!
Very low. Somehow alive though, Mata gets traded out. Chichu and nobody get involved in that engagement, and Brock is still looking for a way to make use of the Odin. It's Ethan stepping up, Brock down, Odin threat neutralized, can't deal with Ethan, who won't be brought back into the game anytime soon. Now Scuba and Som have to put it together. One in tower, the other coming from top mid, and that's crucial. This kill here is everything. Kung not ready for the swing, but still recovers in time, and even found Ethan off the backside.
And now there's this wrap coming in. Ginny getting into elbow. Som has to drop, has to make some sound. Moment for the swing. EDG finally get one on the board after that 5-round drought. It just comes from pressuring A into the pivot towards B, not running into Scuba. And honestly, I want to see this kill from nobody onto Mata. Yeah, finding that instant trade was massive. I mean, imagine if Mata, even with low HP, just gets back around the corner. There was no one who would have been able to kill him. He could have just posted up in main. That would have been so difficult for EDG to deal with.
The sick from Kung.
Yeah, and then that 3K is beautiful.
Oh,
not in a position for that ultimate have any effect, so he spares his team the suppression and gets 3.
So many ultimates used in that round for NRG. None of them with any serious level of value. This is put EDG in a situation where they can get back in this game. Now they're the one with the ultimates advantage.
NRG has managed to spot nothing down mid yet. Mada hasn't pushed up for a swing. Trying to wait patiently on this. Som is very far forward though in yard. Trying to reposition himself.
Mada's a clone. Case of that flash here. Now obviously spotted out by this dimensional drift. Som is on the retreat towards site. Mada needs to get out of there with that light speed under a lot of pressure. But the saturate buys some time.
Mada actually swung into that. That is completely unhinged. Not going to be able to connect though. That's the horn in play. 0 point captain, 3 EDG players. They want to keep this going.
Look at this triple face from NRG to try and hold back sight. Som goes down early.
That's not been swung into yet.
Yeah, EDG, they don't fully commit. They're just planting for offsite to play from yard, play from lane.
Only playing where they have information, and Ethan that actually stepped up into the line of sight. Mada with a shorty, not close enough. He's in deep trouble, tries to switch weapons, but he's leapt upon instantly. And as good as Scoob has been, he has been put out of the action this round.
And now it is going to be time for him to save. Ethan is on very low cash, so they would love to be able to make sure that they can get 5 rifles going into this. Next one.
Hey, crazy match.
On EDG, they finally stop the bleeding, get back into the game. They made the right decision in that execute in terms of where they were planting, how they were playing off of the spike. They didn't overcommit. If they had, they would have went right into that NRG triple face stack up backside, but they don't get baited in.
Really well handled. Don't get carried away with it.
Yeah, थोड़ा सा रहेगा.
That's the dimensional drift committed there. But to put Mada in a position where he could not be involved.
I am energy supporter. Cause मेरा PKM से भाई. PKM में मैंने energy choose किया है. So I have to support energy.
Absolutely, it is time to just simply avoid Scuba on this B side. It's been locked down on the left half of the map. Just focus your attention over on A. 0 point goes down bottom. Mid doesn't catch anyone out from EDG. They wait it out, and now they start to press forward.
And no longer is Brock set up top mid to spray through. This time he is out-droning. Through link out to mid and doesn't spot the player on the other side of the
I don't
wall.
think spotted him, but Gokong thought he was. Can't really blame him. Teleports to the team. They're going for the B exec again. They're testing Scuba again.
Ethan now with the fragment to try and dig him out. Smoggy took some damage from him, but Genie's going to win the
Nice
fight.
one, Genie. Genie down, I mean. Nice one, Genie. Nice one, Ethan. Nice one, Ethan. Nice one, Ethan. Nice one, Ethan. Bark, come on,
Does he not trade that? That felt like a sure kill.
Dangerous now. Chichu at 5, but still very much a factor.
कांकांनी याचा फूट ऐकला माडाचा फूट ऐकला कॉल दिला.
Did hear those footsteps behind him. Saw him now through heaven. EDG with an acute awareness of Mada's positioning at the very least.
There's nothing for Som to see here. He sees it. The player below him. Chichu now neutralized. Som could start to cut the side up a little bit with these smokes.
But still, he has to worry a bit about his elbow. You can see he is paranoid. That smoke comes down to Smoggy, try to get in front of it. Time is beginning to get very...
Kang.
Smoggy exits the round with 2 health. Chichu survives at 5 after Brock tries to trade him. And things just break very well, very favorably for EDG on that B-side hit.
Those were some very snappy, gorgeous shots from Ethan. This little adjustment to the left on nobody was lovely, but...
यांनी काढायला नव्हते पाहिजे. हा यांनी का 2 मिनिटं चालू ठेवायचं होतं ना. वाचलं असतं भाई.
He really looked like he had a sure kill with that Odin. And he tried to go for an aim adjustment. And then he just loses out that duel that he absolutely needed to win.
Yo, let's go! Boom, boom. Oh, NRG ने time out घेतला. We are cooking. We are doing some special meeting. अरे यार.
Now though, game is tied and Bonkar needs to phone in.
When we get back, one ult to play around in those convergent paths from Mada. And they are going for a full investment, it does seem, as well. This has been impressive from EDG. Able to make the adjustments, some good calling right now.
conversion pass. The first time we saw it looked very disruptive. EDG hit en masse by it in yard as they tried to approach that A side. Conservatively, Marta didn't really play into it, didn't rush at them, used it to stall, to disrupt.
Damn.
Now what is the play from NRG? EDG have been very willing to press up mid, get that space after and during the wall goes up. Now NRG, they want to fight through it this time. And it has been Kong solo on the effort to take this mid control on most rounds.
No more Odin here for Brook. Down to the Guardian, but playing a similar position. Still good bullet penetration there as NRG want to make full use of the paper mache walls.
Off some contact, Ethan is ready to just flash out. Take this fight towards mid. Dark cover drops so he doesn't need to get out of the way temporarily.
Carter also set up to just stay entrenched here and then respond quickly if there's an A hit. Tough for EDG to get A link control, but they are going to step forward now.
Prowler alerts them to the lack of players there.
Oh!
So close to the judge.
Brings the gavel down on Chichu and Kanka. Now the only option is to try and play through mid. It's nobody caught inside a conversion pass. Runner Jenny also suffering that hindrance. And so, Smoggy now in a 1v5. All too much to do, but he's made a good start. Knocks down to 6 though. Too much damage collaterally. And even though he takes
Ethan kadun mein lat.
All but impossible as Ethan will neutralize him.
Excellent setup from NRG and making that adjustment out of the timeout to fight more targeted for that mid. Those EDG players fighting through A main right into the judge. That corner of the dark cover.
Clear that corner by Mata.
And then when the split activates, Mata rips that off.
Well executed.
That puts NRG back in front by a nose. Now they've got the overdrive to stare down from Jenny. EDG hoping maybe for a fast play to get them to parity at the end of this first half.
Brock has gotten the money to get the Odin activated again.
It's been middling in its impact, I feel.
Which is a rarity for a Brock Odin game, if we're being honest. Now EDG, they buy their time in mid. 0 Point does make a couple connections. Now they work their way up. Gate crash all the way at the top of mid. That's just going to be a fake from Kong. But NRG, as far as they know, could be, looking down the barrel of a B split. They've lost all that control.
Yeah, Somdo can get back into tower on B side with that ultimate. Able to reinforce pretty effectively, and they're looking to re-clear mid now. An odd timing for it. Brook won't see anything though.
EDG's execute stalled out by the mollies on main. Another now from Ethan.
Nobody's dug enough into that corner that the fragment doesn't affect him. Here comes a paranoia, and in they come. 3 spotted off that 0 Point, and Ethan needs to get to work again. It's going to be Jenny up in this corner. Scuba highly mindful of it this time, and again it's Ethan set up on this corner, brought to pressure from me with the Odin. There's no pick, there's no reveal of any of these players, and so we can only spray and pray. Scuba good for 1. Always seems to be the case in that position. Jenny's able to get in there and finish the job as he's down to 10.
Pretty shocking, honestly, that EDG are able to make that work, but respect to them. NRG were fully stacked up on that site.
I think vindicating at the end of the first half to return to the scene of the crime and find great success on a very clean B hit, all things considered. Really competitive first half. Great to see that recovery from EDG.
They're able to make the right adjustments at the right time when it looked like things were just spiraling out of control, and we've got another close game.
Ball from Corrode on the other side of these messages.
Enemy remains.
एक मिनट नहीं हाफ टाइम व्हाट डू यू थिंक कौन जीतेगा भाई जीतेगा Let's go, half time.
12 rounds into Corrode, and it is a tied game, folks. Your Coinbase Econ report here to kick us off, and Kang had a very important 3K round. He definitely has the measure of Ethan in this game, where he's able to help his team finally claim that B-side against the Null command of all things.
And it is important, honestly, that he was getting so many kills on Ethan, because he was a critical part of those anchors, especially towards B, where they did find success at the end of that half, able to tie things up. It was an impressive showing, and outside of even just the individual play, it seems like Kang is really keeping his team hyped up, keeping them in the game mentally as well.
They're really important, I think, for Jenny as well. They mentioned he's someone who they really want to set up for success, trying to keep his head in the game. He's got a tough role in the Neon, right? Quite often was moving into that B site, taking some space, getting traded at best, and sometimes
let's say NRG चा attack style कशी होते कोरोड कारण की कोरोड त्यांच्या मॅप पिक आहे त्यांनी EDG ला त्यांच्या मॅप पिक वर तर डॉमिनेट केलं जातं त्यांच्या स्वतःच्या मॅप पिक वर करतात. I am very fumbling
on Corrode. They got 11 rounds against Sentinels in that lower bracket final. Absolute dominance. Can they repeat a performance like that? Are EDG ready to stave off how strong they are on this side of the map?
We saw Smoggy was the highlight player of Abyss. A little quieter to start this one off. And Brock as well, someone who we sort of hyped up a little bit, said watch out when he gets the Odin in his hands.
Yeah,
wasn't really able to do much with it.
For a very good reason, but
time to jump.
Yeah, not this time around.
Said it was a rarity that he didn't get a lot of value with it, and that is the genuine truth. Very uncommon that he's not able to put up numbers with that weapon. NRG, they're pivoting over towards this A side. Have Scuba as a late lurk posted up in mid. Here comes the utils. 0 point broken, but Dark covers in, and the dash from Mata.
Oh, light speed gets Mata right in Chichu's face, and he has to give up that space.
Nice.
That easily. Now into the side. It's already
nice one, Mada crazy, Mada crazy, Mada. Yeah.
Control of A.
Mada ace. Mada ace karo de Mada.
And he takes a hit through the masonry.
Do it, Mada. Do it for me, Mada.
Certainly wouldn't be an NRG series if we don't get a Mada ace in it.
And the man has produced them with uncanny frequency in Americas.
Yep. He is the all-time ace leader in the region, but Smoggy on for another pistol clutch, but denied by Som at the last moment.
Closer than NRG would have liked it to be, but you can
see throw
break that crosshair placement, threaten to overwhelm you very quickly. That's just a pistol round. But you can see the ID from NRG, who want to make use of this guy. A real lightning bolt out there on the field.
It gets that first. There was a really cool little flash burn at the ground from Ethan as well that fully blinded nobody, so Mata could get an easy second on that side anchor. Man, if Smoggy did
nice one. Have a good game.
So I'm able to stand up there and be the neutralizing presence NRG needed.
Stabilizes for the team, and now they have that second round bye, which involves a couple rifles, a couple pistols, and the one stinger for Mata on the center towards Link in prime position.
Nice one.
Doesn't want to give up the space quite yet either. He gate crashes over the B, but there is an insert of Smoggy left top mid.
3v3.
NRG suspected. And of course have the penetrative power of the Vandal to try and dig him out.
And they're able to pick up the important guns onto some of the players who did just have pistols, and now go for the rotate towards that B side. A B side where the gate crash from Kang has just been thrown to, so can get a fairly fast rotate there if necessary. EDG, they do want to commit to the effort of holding mid, catching a player there.
You see how important it was that Scuba stays alive in that early trade. It allows NRG to get out of mid, and Kang's none the wiser that they're headed to be.
Convergent pass. Wants to commit them just to ensure that they close this round out.
Well, a fair guess to assume there'd be an entrenched defender here for EDG.
And honestly, when you get them on round 2, I guess, sure, just send them. Let's make sure we win.
I believe we call that easy come, easy go, right? We'll play off the site. Back and right on up here. Mata, of course, has a light speed to get in. No refract, though, to get out. Planted obviously pretty well out in the open. That dark cover's about to dissipate. Chichu spotted. Dancing the boxes in the background. There's a flash, but no attempt to actually play through it. for NRG. Martel's hoping to get some information from above that wall, but sees very little. There's a gap here that Kang might look to exploit. Not quite quick enough on the trigger finger, though. It's the Vandal that gets the better of him, and now Marta will step up for real. Some big frags in this second half. And NRG convert. Only one gun taken out of the round.
And much like the pistol, Smoggy just suddenly collects 2
Let's
at the end
go.
of the round. Significant damage done, and it'll be curious to see what the commitment economically from NRG will be now that we're heading towards EDG's first full buy. I mean, when you go into the bonus with the double rifle, double pistol, you're hoping to get a pretty legit bonus by going with rifle. That is not going to be the case.
No, there's going to have to be some...
I mean, unless they just hard force it.
No, Bulldog here, some on a Sheriff. Nobody instantly over towards the Odin as well.
So it is a mixed kind of half by, really fast for Mata getting into that link. 0 point confirms a lack of presence. Kong with the mid swing. It's the first one to Ethan.
Makes it work with the Bulldog of all things. Mata just a little bit haphazard there, steps out into a double face. Very far ahead of the rest of NRG on a solo mission that goes wrong.
No desire to slow down. NRG not able to get off that A main ground to assist in time. Now look at this stack up from EDG. This should absolutely shred NRG when they round this corner.
Time for the kid to test the champs, I think. Relay Bolt's going to slow them up. There's a ping, though, on Jenny around the corner. Shock Dart to soften up Smoggy, who waded into its area of effect.
It gets a good amount of damage off onto these 2 players, but still, they are committed to just holding this together.
EDG also not moving off that B side yet. Swinging the double face. The dark cover breaks it up, though. Jenny down. This is dangerous now. Kang!
Damn, भाई Kang ने काट ला. Kang ला time नहीं द्यायचा खेळायला.
Leading from the front.
Begins as well, taking that ISO'd fight against Ethan in mid. That's just in this moment. Flash out of that wall, didn't connect onto Kong, and Mata so aggro in that moment. Seemed that he really thought he could catch 1 player, but I mean, even if he gets out first, there's an instant trade coming. It was very aggressive, and he got punished for it.
You've mentioned that NRG's group in Americas was populated by a lot of double doors teams, but this might be the most talented team of that style they've had to go up against.
They're going up against the man that has the all-time BO5 kill record.
अरे मारला मारला.
Frag onto Mata, who used that light speed to get in. Saw him in a really cheeky position.
Tomla मारना.
Mata just crumpled there. That is all of the bark out of NRG. What is some doing from here? G2.
Kang ने spot केला Tomla.
Yeah, this attempt from NRG to go for a crazy fast side exec with the teleport with the light speed is okay. Scuba somehow wins that out. Pretty shocked that he's able to do so.
Was able to get his gun up in time, but he's mindful that Jenny might have dropped down behind him. Kang is just causing problems all across the map here.
Yeah, it feels like he's in the walls at the moment. Brock is going to be able to get the spike plant down, but surely this is unwinnable. Actually, denied even of that by the utility coming through the haunt from the fade.
Comes Kang again. Still a plant. That's what Scuba has to work with, but he has 85 health. He's got 4 able-bodied individuals standing in between him and a round win. Make it 3. Tap on the spike, surely Kang.
Baba.
Oh, there's something here, Scuba. Surely not.
Oh my god, he had the crosshair placement as well. Nobody was just fast enough. Oh my god.
That would have been the most degenerate thing I think I've seen. Yeah, frustrating for Scuba. Tantalizing to a legendary moment.
You do not see crosshair placement get better than that. Oh my god, he was ready as well. He had it in the spot to get that kill. But he was just a millisecond too slow.
Frustrating.
थोड़ा सा भाई यार.
Not something you want to weigh on you.
Oh my god.
He's having an insane performance. Nobody again early with the spray through those walls. Brook suffers as a result. An orb still secured for the attack side. Scuba's blowing off steam maybe.
Mata didn't want to instantly swing through, was hoping that not revealing himself would allow him to get the trade. But it isn't the case. And this round is
यार जिंका पटकन मला जेवायला जायचंय मला शॉपिंग करायची माझी एक्झाम
taking the lead in this game.
काहीच नाही माझ्याकडे.
And that aura around NRG feels like starting to falter.
I don't have anything.
The stopping power of these EDG defenders has unraveled them on multiple occasions. Some are simply seeing what he can get for his money.
Kakong really just feeling himself at this point, hungry to take more fights, hungry to get more kills.
Sees Decade down, TP across the way. Chichu mindful of it though. And Brook obviously completely elsewhere.
अरे यार अराउंड पण असाच गेला.
Headed into this next round. Want to take a look at the status of some of these ults because they are getting online for NRG, and can't say the same for EDG on the opposing side. This is a real opportunity for the team from Americas to put a gun round win together. They have that null command to get into a site. They have the Viper's Pit to close out a post plant. Two potent ultimates that, if used effectively, should get them to 9 rounds.
Got to be mindful, of course, of what nobody's doing early in some of these rounds. Marta with the fast play over towards Link. Now, last time he just walked out and got picked off, so we'll see.
And this is a pretty standard open
Damn.
NRG, but does he expect a reclear coming already from EDG? 3 players in mid.
No one covers him from bottom in here. He is alone in this position. And alone he will fall. Now that mid control firmly in the hands of EDG. Null command now as the acceleration is the response into this B side. Nobody cannot stand.
He really overstays his welcome.
4v4.
Expecting even that a dark cover would have been thrown there, but it wasn't. And now the pit goes down. Now it's into the 4-on-4.
A lot of side control. You've got 2 players from NRG forging already.
No.
Scuba needs to stay alive though. Kakong needs this kill desperately, but
Nice
ready
one.
on the angle to support.
Odin in hand as well. That's going to be a problem when we come to this post-plant scenario. A very timely
Storm ची मस्त पोजीशन है. Storm ला expect नहीं करना तिकडे. Storm को वहाँ पे expect नहीं करेंगे.
Backstab can activate at any given moment.
Jimmy's going to try and accelerate.
Nice one, Ethan. Nice one, Storm.
Chichu in the pit, fighting for his life. Surely he knows he's better off playing from outside and keeping this gun in hand.
Nice one. Yeah.
2 ultimates being used to perfect effect. The pit, the null command. I did really like this play though from EDG. Mata dashing up into that link and staying committed to the position is something that he's done before.
Yep.
And so they're able to just isolate him completely to get that opening kill. It was a great idea.
Nice one.
First time Mata's been very much, out at sea alone in some of those early scenarios.
It was just unfortunate that
Let's
nobody
go.
Maybe the dark cover was coming.
Yes, NRG. NRG.
That was an important kill for NRG to pick up. Regardless of, finally in the hands of Kakong, Scuba removed instantaneously.
Absolutely brazen. Bro basically bathed in that molly from the Viper. Was happy to trade a little bit of health for the kill.
Let's go.
Mata on the verge of getting the conversion pass. Just 1 orb required at this point.
Won't do a whole lot to Kangkang, who's perched up here waiting for a push through B main. Mid really not explored at all for NRG yet. Jenny with a fairly safe posting top mid. Shoulder peeking at regular intervals as Ethan is yet to
B ला
show
होते सोडून दिला एक खाली आहे पूर्ण. A ला ड्रोन केला पण दिसला नाही. आता mid ला आहे.
Slowed the pace at the moment. They need to commit a dark cover to obscure this top mid view. Danger. Virginia goes down to half HP.
Just warning shots though, but NRG are looking to scale up this mid control now. This is about to get ugly.
EDG, they want to pop out of this potentially. Smoggy on the angle.
Multi-phase, there's got to be some action
Bang,
here.
bang, 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 bang.
Jenny and nobody able to find 1 each.
30 seconds.
I mean, unfortunately, Ethan and Mata, they're hindered.
Alright, there it is.
Nice one.
Snaps the
Nice
crosshair
one,
positioning
Ethan.
entirely. Now Kangkang, who was positioned up in tower, gave up that spot to play back through spawn.
And now Ethan planting for Mata to keep playing in
Zero
that
heaven.
link.
How aware are they of the tower position? What is that from
Let's
Ethan?
go.
5 points of health. Well,
भाई crazy मारता है, crazy तोड़ते
Pixel
त्याला.
shot from Ethan. I can't believe NRG win out that mid fight. EDG have 3 players ready to activate on that contact from Smoggy.
Listen, भाई Ethan is crazy. Ethan is MVP for this round.
I mean, that is just a disgusting way to be able to get the fight isolated. What is that shot? Oh my god, Ethan. Same reaction.
Give me something, bro.
Damn.
Now, you talked about the ultimate trough for EDG. They were suffering.
Crazy.
Well, now it's very much the opposite. However, the weaponry isn't quite there to match it.
Wow, instant dimensional drift from Kakong used
Well,
right
to
down
see.
mid. He does spot out every single player.
Gate crashes over at tower. He doesn't want to go back that
far.
Now the question is to what avail, right? But it is now allowing EDG to walk all the way up and position themselves in B main at the very least. They have full control. And if there's a pivot back from NRG to B, it could be dangerous. You have nobody taking contact, and then Ginny tucked in the corner with the stinger. But NRG, they're slowing down the pace of the game now.
Rourke obviously mindful of this. Sal watching the bottom of mid.
Smoggy down, Ethan Pan down.
Smoggy and Ethan respectively in that little exchange.
NRG was aware that the weaponry isn't where it needs to be on the EDG camp. Jenny can supplement, of course, with an overdrive if you want to commit more into this half-bought round here. Kung chilling in pocket.
Smoke's being cycled on main. Of course, it's Paranoia ready to go from Smoggy, but it is temporarily deactivated.
That's a nice little
Kang le DP mara nice Paranoia.
Paranoia comes from NRG. Now they're going to assert themselves on the
Mala, crazy outlaw. Crazy. Dev. Must. Yeah. NRG GG.
Synchronized with that saturate coming through.
अजून तरी चांगला गेम चालू आहे.
Players blinded, hindered, and from there they are just deleted with absolute ease from Mata press forward.
Obviously, outside of the fact that NRG take another big step towards a series win, it's a buff around economically where they don't suffer any casualties to the sheriff buy of EDG. Foundation a little bit more. Now, comes online for Mata, gives them something to say in the conversation. EDG is still ready to leverage many of them to get back to winning ways.
Yeah, Ethan did throw out that no command very late in the round. I don't know, feeling pressure in a bit of a chaotic moment on the entry into site. Sure, they pick it up and get to 11. Maybe regretting it a bit though, given the state of EDG right now. Would be nice to have the opportunity to turn some of those ults off, but that it will not be the case.
Now, it is only relatively quote-unquote early in the series. It's our second map, but with a 32 for Abyss, 32 rounder, excuse me. Corrode now going pretty close. That fatigue is going to start to set in. EDG in the last few rounds, if you've seen, have had issues countering the movements of NRG, but his early rounds have tended to favour them, right? They've been able to pick up kills. In fact, it's NRG converting on some of these 4v5 scenarios. That messy mid-fight a couple rounds back feels like it was an inflection point. What do EDG have for us? Chichu with a Viper's Pit, crucial. Nightfall for nobody.
Is this just going to be an accelerated B hit from NRG, throw in the convergent paths? Maybe again, Psalm goes for from the shadows, TP's forward. He tried it last time.
I'm watching some frenetic pings from NRG in this direction. Looks like they want to hit this one hard and fast. Kung falls back, spotted out by the Al drone. Here's the convergent path.
Let's go. Paranoia jala yaar.
Out of the sight.
Yeah, they want to draw out some of this initial utility, and they do it effectively. Now, what is the pace on a re-hit? It's immediate with a convergent path.
But it doesn't cover the elbow players. Mata's still able to get in there and find Jet.
Nice one, Tom.
Out of the open.
2v3? No, 2v4.
And now Nobu's going to fight his way out. That is sharp shooting. Screamer falls, but he's not ready for the close swing from Som. And so it falls to Chichu. As it has so often in this series. A gun round that EDG really pins so many of them. It's up to him.
Just wants to get out of the smoke ASAP. Has the timing for the fight with Som. No instant swing.
Can he find his way through? Ethan close on the corner. Mata there for a double swing. It's not to be. And so EDG are going to have to force to stay in the series.
Let's go, NRG, bhai. Last round sample
They try to flood in with that Nightfall. They have all the players there. It's absolute pandemonium on the site. I can't believe NRG get ahead. Sick kill from Mata. Scooter scales in quite quickly. And that drop from
Return to papa thamba na kaadu naka. मी
the timing's just
दुवे गाडी नाही घेतो ना
with the flood off
सकाळ
that
सकाळ
Nightfall. And they're picking
काहीच नाही झालं ना मला जर संध्याकाळची गाडी नाही भेटली जनरलची दुवे गाडीने सकाळी रिटर्न
getting in with the convergent pass after extracting
कारण की ती पण मला दुपारपर्यंत 1 पर्यंत घरी असतो
Smoggy has no armor at all.
जास्तीत जास्त 2 होतात
Force the Vandal.
Just a glass cannon Vandal.
कधी
Chichu playing within the
सकाळी
pit.
नसेल ती 100ची रिक्वेस्ट करायला
Roxy wants to tap this orb, hoping that Chichu will show some traces here.
Brock does get it. Yeah, a little bit of danger to have the Vandal in that pit, not gonna lie. So Chichu doesn't go for much of a spam effort at all. In fact, doesn't spam at all. Hong Kong is
Team,
mid.
team. Let's go.
NRG, they're on the
Let's go, last
cusp of
round.
taking this series
Energy.
2-0 after
Do it,
being
do it.
down 11-2
Do it,
on
ASAP.
the first map.
Let me celebrate your win.
Prime 2024 Kang here. If EDG
Monday
is going to have a
return.
shot in this game, Gate crash out, realize he doesn't really have the tools.
Meeting their utilities. Nice. That energy.
Ethan walking his way up mid
Damn.
towards this link flash to get
What a
some of
great
that space to apply
strategy.
some pressure. The majority of this NRG
Strategy,
hit going through A
strategy.
main off this wall.
This provokes the re-clear of Link from nobody. Sends the Prowler in. So we're all lined up for A main.
Boom. Oh yeah, nahi. Aniya ha khana.
It doesn't seem to matter. It's Brock with the
Kitti hai,
Only gets
2v4.
the one. And the 0 point not
1v3.
made use of. Brock's in trouble. Big trouble. And EDG fire back.
ठीक है अपना ही round है.
That was excellent counter utility
Apna round,
from
apna
EDG
round,
to
no worries.
stop that hit in its tracks. The pair of
Worries
that
at all.
paranoia from Smoggy had a serious connection. I mean, look at Mana. He was just blinded up. Didn't know where he was looking. Didn't know where he was dashing. Stun connection as well. Beautiful, beautiful stop power.
And in the end, Ethan doesn't want to try and split A from Link. He flashes it,
Purple
clears
out
at least
then.
the first part of it, but then doubles back to join NRG for a flood through A main that gets stopped in its tracks.
तिकडे काय थोडी झाली का ती?
NRG with two opportunities to
Nice
close out
cover.
this map. Mana back to this fast late take.
साडेचार
Let's fade out the paranoia and just
हाँ, दुए
relax
गाड़ी
back
बगल
to
लगे.
bottom mid. Wants to gather up with NRG, the rest of the squad who are poised to execute onto this B site. Brock could have a Hunter's Fury and a post plant potentially. He's just one more lane. He's going to get that in main.
Kang's gate crash here at B puts him right in the middle of the action if he's going to respond to a site.
And he does, he does, he is in.
त्याच्यानंतर ना ना
I'm going to leak high behind the orb and now ready to fight. So far, not so shabby. Chi-Chi's able to back him up and go 3 for 1. Now this is
साढ़े बारह.
Scuba and Brock having to fight for it.
कोणती आहे?
Through the corner. What? How do they get the second? Okay.
खाली मार मग ती 40 गावरून
Brock up on
डायरेक्ट
the side. Spike stuck. Scuba ready and has to go 1v2 on his swing out of elbow. Brock is not in a position to double up with him. Horn popped.
आवडे जास्त लेट
Now he'll double
12
back. Prowler going to come around the corner.
तिकडे 40 गावला 12
On the side,
वाजता
it's going to be Jenny. Scuba has to deal with him now. Overdrive at the ready and long range. Jenny picks Brock off. EDG are far from done.
That overdrive is just too much to deal with, but what a play from Kong. That brazen confidence just sends it into the site. Pop flashes for himself.
How did Smoggy die? Brock sprays 2 players down instantly with his Odin.
अरे दुपारची दुवे गाडी कितीची आहे?
Such a great job, man. God, that
हा
was
माते
sick.
दुपारची दुवे गाडी कितीची आहे?
Just too strong.
नाही दुपारची तिकडून धुळे 40 गाव.
Some frustration there for NRG, just trying to
टीम का
put
4च
this
आहे.
game to bed before EDG take it over.
And now, juxtaposed to Abyss, it's been them on match point, them struggling to close this out. One more for EDG to take us
लांबवतात
back
यार,
to
लांबवतात.
OTs for them to stay in this series. Just an unbelievable showing from both teams. Our 2023 Champions winner and Ethan against the 2024 Champions winners, starting this tournament off in amazing fashion.
And honestly for NRG, it's been a showcase primarily of what Scuba and Mata are made of in this series. Scuba with an amazing defense side. NRG now have had to throw caution to the wind on more than one occasion. And now that hit towards V, you mentioned it, Kang just materialized in the middle of a hit that was in progress and still finds 2 kills. The guy's got composure for days. Can NRG avert yet another overtime in this series? EDG, the round
नहीं OT finish यार.
Fury, Odin still to hand. Will this be the final round of this series? Can NRG make it through, remaining in this upper bracket?
Hush over the audience now. The weight of this round is clearly
अजय चतुर्थ ना भेटत.
Okay, he got out.
मेरा तंदा चुका हाँ भेटला.
Wanted to get some information for this Hunter's Fury, but there's not even a tag from Brock. Nobody in mid, he's just ready for the lurk.
No check of mid. Scuba now off the map and Mata down to 6.
Guys का धुए में
Starts
हूँ.
this one, but nobody
just hunts for more. He gets greedy and he gets punished.
Kung Kung now, that sole player in mid, Jenny making his way toward connector. But NRG still have their Omen in the game. Still have the util to put together a hit on B. And that's going to put Chichu yet again to the test.
And that dark cover is thrown up mid from Ethan to kind of make it seem like they could be working up there, but Kong Kong knows that that is nonsense. He's pushed all the way down, but the pressure will be on Chichu. He's playing from he takes a lot of damage, a risk to get the molly off.
He doesn't want to give up this position. He's trying to hold it for as long as he can.
मग ती सोमवारी मला ती 5:30 बोलतो 3:30 ची भेटायला पाहिजे तर फायदा आहे 3:30 ची भेटायला पाहिजे नाहीतर मग 7:30 नी जायला लागेल मला जेवण वगैरे घेऊन
There's going to be players coming from
3:30 ची भेटायला पाहिजे मला माझं 1 वाजेपर्यंत मी फ्री झालो पाहिजे असं
Chichu here knows Ethan is going to be sniffing at his heels, and on the side, Brock at least finds one. Needs more. There's Ethan. Now can make his way out with Sob. Disrupts the defuse, and Ethan puts it to bed. And his hand, it starts in 2023. And in 2025, Ethan.
Let's go. NRG jinkli.
This time surrounded by young, hungry shooters. And NRG vindicate themselves in this match against your reigning world champions.
Let's go.
That is the global
bye bye guys. See you.
Challengers.